Every time I find my fire, somehow I'm starved for air. But when I'm stuck in the mire, I know I've nothing to fear. The candle of hope has been lit for so long. Sometimes it's hard to go, feels like I've lost my way. I'm slowly losing control. My heart is heavy these days. The candle of hope has been lit for so long, and it's burning out. Yeah, it's burning out when everything is spinning out of control. I can barely sleep with all this weight on my soul. I try to let it be, I try to let it be, but I can't let it go. No, I can't let it be. If there's any hope, even just a glimmer, I'll be holding on. Cause I believe in us. When these times get tough and it feels like everything's coming down, it's so hard to change this road we're on. But I'll be keeping faith and take it day by day. Maybe someday soon we'll find a way. We can place our hope in a better day. I believe in us. I believe in us. Oh, I've seen so much fear and pain, keeps me awake at night, hoping that our hearts can change, trying to make the best of this life. Gotta break free from the old ways we know. Yeah, we'll tear it down. Yeah, we'll tear it down when everything is spinning out of control. I can barely sleep with all this weight on my soul. I try to let it be, I try to let it be, but I can't let it go. No, I can't let it be. If there's any hope, even just a glimmer, I'll be holding on. Cause I believe in us. When these times get tough and it feels like everything's coming down, it's so hard to change this road we're on. But I'll be keeping faith and take it day by day. Maybe someday soon we'll find a way. We can place our hope in a better day. I believe in us. Don't hold my hand for this part. Full speed ahead. I know you noticed right from the start. Had my head held high since it began. Cause I laid it out for them. Just tell me, could you get it off? In the aftermath, oh, would you leave it all out on the table now? Before the dust settles down. Cause right before the sunrise, I could see the fear in your eyes. You thought I disappeared for good now. You thought you left me dead, 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 dead. You thought that I was slowing down by now. But think again, think again. I thought that
Hello everyone! Welcome to the day 2, the final day of the Arknights Lungmen Dragons Bingo Lockout tournament sponsored by Arknights EN. It's been a wild ride leading up to the semi-finals, and I believe all of you guys are very excited to see what's going to happen. We both are very excited, so I hope you guys enjoyed as well. My name is Viper. I'm joined today by our partner caster, Zyrathan. Zai, are you excited for the final day?
Yes, I've been looking forward to this. We've got 3 great matches, 2 semifinals and 1 grand finals that we can look forward to today. And the 4 players that we're going to be seeing today have definitely proved themselves against the boards from the night before. And I will say about the boards we'll be seeing today, we are going to see some very fierce competition. I've heard intimidating things about these boards, and so I guarantee you a great show tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Only 4 players are left, and we are only going to be crowning the top winner who's going to be walking away with a huge prize today. So we'll be announcing those very shortly. But to summarize, Bingo Lockout tournament, the qualifying phase. It's been a long 2 weeks, but essentially, let's summarize what has happened. We started out with a qualifying phase that lasted for roughly a week. Players competed on the easy mode of IS3, and the top 32 players were selected based off the fastest times to clear that easy mode. And then, leading up to yesterday, we competed in a 32 bracket tournament, 1v1 in a bingo lockout format, and we are now at the semifinals. It's been a long journey. I feel like we've seen a lot of incredible gameplay. I'm actually super impressed by the sheer skill and creativity of these contestants, and I'm glad that we're able to showcase them in the final day.
Yes, we have seen some very great clutches, even in those matches that we didn't unfortunately get to stream. There have been some very, very close matches, and of the ones we did get to stream, we saw some amazing plays, like kills in the blue box, players knowing exactly what to do, what relics to take, or what units they could use to perhaps cheese some of the tiles on the bingo boards. So hopefully we'll get more of that excellent showcase today, as well as, hey, Viper, you ready to get into some complex IS3 mechanics?
Oh man, I feel like now that we're on the final day, the board has been getting harder and harder between rounds. I already didn't understand most of the lingo that was being used on board 3. I think you're gonna have to carry this pretty hard.
Don't worry, Viper. I am a bird, and therefore I can read several things like seeds and bread. Yes, we're in great hands.
Oh man. Anyways, I feel like on day 1 we saw a lot of creativity. What do you think is the most important quality that allows these kind of participants to perform well in this type of tournament?
I think moving on into the higher brackets, it's definitely going to be ingenuity and the ability to think immediately and on the spot. Obviously, we didn't really see much of it in the lower brackets just because of how quickly tiles were being taken. But in these higher brackets, I think there might be a chance that one player could take a tile that another player was vying for and had been building a squad towards. So it'll be on these players to see if they can quickly pivot away from the squads or the compositions that they had been building towards and try and redirect toward another tile, and basically how they're going to play against not only the very complex boards that we're going to be seeing today, but also each other.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have to remember, just because you might be able to read very quickly and play IS3 very quickly, your partner at this stage in the tournament is also a very high contender for that top spot. So we'll have to see how PvP does make everything more complex. I think I'm very excited to see the type of strategy that comes out. Yesterday, we did touch on the early challenge kind of playstyle versus like a complete run. And now that we're onto a harder board, it may make more sense to go for one holistic, very strong run and try to get as many challenges as possible. And we'll see if that kind of strategy does come out today. Before we get started, everyone, we do want to run over the rules and preview what to expect going in today, and also, of course, summarize what happened yesterday. So we're going to go over and run over the rules real quick. So, again, this is the bingo lockout phase, the final part, showcasing the semi-finals. To rewind a little, players will be competing on a board of 25 tiles. This is kind of, everyone plays bingo growing up. Once a tile has been claimed by a player, it will then be locked and cannot be claimed by the opposing player. Obviously, in this case, if you get a tile, your opponent can't compete for that tile, and that's the complexity of this game mode. Basically, you are challenged to work around your opponent's route as well, and that's what makes this so interesting. This will go on until either player claims 13 of the tiles. So this is the main difference between standard bingo and bingo lockout. In standard bingo, you probably remember we're going to be going for like a line or a diagonal, but in lockout, it's all about clearing out more than half of the tiles. So getting that 13 tiles for the win. To give you a picture of what that would look like, we're going to have the board on the screen throughout the entire match. And before the match, as we do the setup, players are going to get, in this semifinals, 10 minutes to look at the board before starting the stage. We want to give the players amount of time to dissect the board, read everything that it has to offer, and then come up with a strategy to knock out as many challenges as possible. So we're going to give them that board for 10 minutes, and then afterwards we're going to see the entire round play out. And the first player, you see red and blue, first player to reach 13 tiles will be crowned the winner.
All right, and as we've been doing this for the previous few days, all of these matches are going to be played at Surging Waves 0, the standard difficulty normal mode. The players will have a set amount of time, as Viper mentioned, after the board is revealed to prepare for their runs. The boards will not be made known to them until that countdown is done, and afterwards they will have 10 minutes instead of the previous 5 in order to start strategizing and thinking about what they want to do. We're giving them 10 minutes this time because of the amount of difficulty for these challenges, and also these challenges are going to start getting very, very specific. So, might want to confirm what exactly you need to do just so you don't think you've got a tile and then find out no, by some technicality you don't have it. So these matches are going to be going for, I believe, an hour is the absolute upper time limit. And at the end of an hour, the winner will be whoever has taken the most tiles on the board. Now, if it is a tie, then we will move to a sudden death, and the next tile to be taken will determine the winner. And of course, players are allowed to restart the run during this time period. They are allowed to restart their runs in order to go back and claim additional tiles. However, whether we will see players avail themselves of this strategy remains to be seen, especially with the tiles that will be on floors 4 and 5.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we enter the semifinals, as we mentioned a bit yesterday, all 4 of these remaining players have already qualified for a bigger prize than the 32 members behind them. Zaya, let's take a look at what kind of prizes they have.
Oh boy, prizes! All right, so it looks like for each of our contestants in the top 4, they will each be receiving a Phantom and the Crimson Solitaire 3D gift box, which went live in the Arknights EN store like a week or 2 ago, I believe. Did you get the email for that?
No, I didn't. This is still news for me. But yeah, wow, imagine just being able to be sent one of these by Arknights EN yourselves. That's crazy.
Oh yeah. Actually, they filled a lot of new stuff in the shop. That's a little bit of a digression. Now, on for first prize. The first prize player will also be receiving a Model Castle 3 Summer 019 version, which is like a scale model of Castle with his summer skin, as well as an Amiya Choworth medium-sized rabbit plush. Not exactly sure how big that is, but I feel like it's huggable and definitely shaped like a friend.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's a lot of stuff. 3 different items. That including a Phantom Crimson Solitaire. Wait, that's IS2. Wait, an IS2 3D gift box. That's pretty cool. So wow, our first place prize is gonna walk away with all 3 of those. Second place, they're gonna walk away with the castle as well as the 3D gift box, but not the Mia plushie. And then I believe 3rd and 4th place is going to receive the Phantom 3D gift box, as well as this blanket of Mia in bunny form. And then, oh wow, there's actually a prize for... wait, that's a huge prize for the 32 contestants behind them. $30 gift card. Wow.
Yeah, you can get yourself a monthly headhunting pack with that, right?
True, that plus a monthly card on top of that. Wow.
Well, not like we'd know. We're free to play, right?
True, yeah, I'm not sure. But this is amazing. It's awesome that Arknights EN is going out of their way to sponsor this entire event and offer these merch kind of prizes. I think that's the first time we've ever seen this before. So huge shout out to Arknights EN. And of course, good luck to the final 4 people competing today. All right, moving on to a few highlights from yesterday's tournament. We wanted to cover some of the biggest, most impactful moments that has happened. The first one being the biggest upset in the tournament. Everest versus Tuglo. Not to put shame on Tuglo, but Tuglo was our first seed from the qualifying phase. If you guys remember, the qualifying phase was a speed run of easy mode IS3. And clearly here we have our 32nd seed, Everest, beating Tuglo in pretty much a wipe. Look at that, 13-5 score. So very, very powerful performance by Everick, and this is constituting as the biggest upset in the entire tournament so far.
And over on closest match, unfortunately, we did not get to televise this one, but Super Blaze versus Wreath in a 13-12, and we're not sure if it went to sudden death or if Super Blaze pulled back or wait, is it Super Blaze? I think it is Super Blaze who got 13. If they did manage to pull back victory from behind, or if it did actually go down to sudden death. But here we go, a board that got entirely filled out. So congratulations to both players for fighting it out to the best of their ability in this board.
Yeah, absolutely. This is very impressive for both players to be backed against the corner with only 1 tile remaining, fighting for that 1 tile. That must have been very cool to watch, but unfortunately we did not get that televised. But also on top of that, neither of these players have made it to the top 4. I believe they both got knocked out right afterwards in top 16. Or sorry, Super Blaze got knocked out in top 16. So unfortunately, we won't be able to see them play. But great match right there, closest match of yesterday. And then we have this one, the hardest sweep in the tournament. Supposedly, this was one of the fastest matches that was played. Unfortunately, again, not televised. Chthonic versus Kestrel. Kestrel only getting 5 of those tiles. We actually did see Chthonic versus Fersangu yesterday. So, unfortunately, Chthonic did get knocked out, but we did see how skilled they were being able to navigate their board in those top 8 matches. But Chthonic taking this match, one of the fastest, hardest sweeps of the tournament. Big props to Chthonic. Cool. Very, very cool thing that happened yesterday. All right. Yeah, those were the 3 that we wanted to showcase. And now let's move on to the tournament bracket for today. We've seen this yesterday right at the very end of the stream, but there are only 4 players remaining. Disa, Wayhazel, Jian, I believe those are those Chinese characters, and Fersangu, who we actually got the opportunity to watch yesterday. Zai, what do you think about these final 4 players?
I think that we're going to see some very intense matches, but I have my eyes on Jian, the one who knocked out Blue Alex, FG Alex, the Osu APM master. I feel like there's got to be some intense gaming going on in that bracket if Jian's the one who made it out instead of Alex. So looks like Jian going up against Fersangu in our second match, but we'll be watching Disa versus Wayhazel first. I am not familiar with either of these players, and correct me if I'm wrong, did we spectate in on any of them?
We actually have not spectated on either of them. Clearly, of course, we spectated on an Everest match earlier, and we saw that. Wayhazel was the one that actually beat Tobo. We did realize that Tobo did have a little weaker of a run in round 1, but I'm guessing Wayhazel puts up a pretty good fight. We've heard some good things about them. Disa, the winner over Everick, that's very surprising in itself. So I'd love to see some very high-level gameplay today.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to seeing Disa and Wayhazel for the first time on the screen, especially given that Disa did knock out Everick, who we both know from the community as a participant in tournaments. So it'll be very interesting to see these players on the screen for the first time, as well as what they're going to have to offer us, but more importantly, if they're going to pick blue women.
So I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. So far, I feel like she has been showcased in almost every single match. Almost, I think one of them she wasn't there, but Ling must be really strong. Still super strong. Like
Viper. You do realize that everyone who's brought Ling so far on the stream has lost, right?
Wait, really?
Yeah,
Wait, no
I know.
way.
I meant Texas Alter. I mean, she's also blue woman too,
True.
right?
Okay, wait, what?
Is she blue?
She does have the blue accent, so I would consider it.
She is kind of blue.
She is kind of blue.
I call it blue.
Texas
Yeah.
Alter, Ling. Who else have we seen that have been very strong starting 6-stars for this format?
I actually wouldn't say so much a 6-star, but Highmore has been like, you know, you got to put some respect on Highmore's name in IS3 because of her talent that gives her additional performance capabilities. So I wonder if we're going to see some Highmore. Actually, is she also blue?
Highmore, she's more of like a purple accent. But,
okay, we'll let her go.
Yeah, I still don't know much about Highmore. I remember that one match where Highmore was basically doing what La Pluma did. I don't even know if there's any difference between those operators.
Well, Highmore does get a buff from being an IS3, just like Shalem got a buff from being an IS2. So that buff on her talent does give her a little bit better performance just in the realm of IS3.
Well, I guess we'll have to see if both or either players, you know, pull her out today. I'd love to see some interesting picks that we haven't seen. Maybe the board will lend to that kind of interesting pick. We will have to see very soon, but I believe the match is starting very soon between Disa and Wayhazel. Let us go prep the board.
And it's going to be our first time taking a look at this board as well. Do we want to talk a little bit about the theme of what we're going to be seeing, or do we want to wait for the board to populate before we go for that?
Honestly, you can go ahead and talk about the theme if you have that already. I'd love to hear kind of, maybe it might give our audience an idea as to what to expect for the board.
Well, just to recap our themes from the previous night, the top 16 had a theme of exploration, the top 8 had a theme of danger, and the theme for the semifinals, is hope and recruiting. So it looks like this board is going to try focusing a little bit more on operator-specific tasks. And here we go, the board's been populated. What do you think about this, Viper?
Oh, surprisingly a lot less words than I expected. But let's go from the top. Let's kind of pinpoint some that come to mind. So from the top, clear a stage with only operators that cost more than 20 DP in a squad. Wait, that sounds ridiculous. Who even
Viper,
costs more than 20 DP?
That's just Guard Knights or Caster Knights.
Oh.
Or
I
Defender
thought that was
Knights.
only like Mudrock.
That's 30, Viper.
Oh.
I can tell you off the top of my head that I believe Irene is a cost 21 without any DP pots on her. So, hey, there you go.
Oh, wait, what? I thought guards were only like 15 DP. Okay. Wait, maybe that might
Depends
be a lot
on the
easier than I
archetype.
thought then. Huh.
I believe Highmore should. I actually haven't checked Highmore's potentials, but Highmore also might fit that. And speaking of Highmore, looks like we've got a sponsored tile on the very bottom right. Clear 3 stages with Highmore in your squad.
Ooh.
Hello!
Wow. That is nice. At least now we know that we're probably going to see some Highmore gaming. Also, I do want to bring it to chat's attention that unlike yesterday's board phase, that's what we'll call this, players are going to have 10 minutes versus the 5 minutes that they had. So much longer time for them to dissect the board. But there's a reason for that, and that's because this board is a lot more complex. It's a lot less of, oh, just one-off things that you can grab on the way to the 5th floor. These are things that you have to prepare specifically starting floor 1 to set yourself up to grab those specific tiles. So we'll see if that extra time can give these contestants the ability to get those tiles.
Now what I'm really interested in is, hello there, second row, middle column, recruit 4 operators of the same race. Now, I wonder who that's pandering to.
Or operators
Zuikaku,
the same
clearly.
race? Wait,
Yeah, Zuikaku,
how do
clearly.
people even know that? Aren't there
Well-
like 50 races in this game?
Yes, you would have to go to the operator files and double check, but I can say off the top of my head that 3 of the most populous races are Sarkaz, Liberi, and Feline. I think all 3 of which have at least more than 20 operators. So, you know, hey, if anyone wants to pander to the Bird Knights player on the casting team, right here.
Why would you not go Sarkaz? Sarkaz is like the most broken class as Surtur, right?
It has Surtur, it has Mudrock, it has Ifrit, it has Nightingale, and it has Shining, among others. But do you want to know what Sarkaz don't have?
What? Like Chalter or something?
A Vanguard. They've got Vigna.
You don't
That's
need
it.
Vanguards in this game. You just need
Okay,
big DPS.
Viper.
Oh
Okay,
my god.
Viper.
Anyways, another one that caught my eye, this one. Have 5 6-star operators. Bro, you know how much hope is required to do that? I feel like that's something that you have to really set up and grab early on. This almost makes me believe that going with the squad that decreases all operator costs by 1 hope might actually save a lot of time there.
Yeah, I forgot what the name of that squad is called, but it's like the third one from the left, right? Oh, person-oriented squad. People-oriented? Yes, that one. That would be a pretty good pick, but I'm going to have to disagree with you there. I am not sure if picking that is, or trying to get that out of the way early is the best idea, because you'll be using all those hope for those 6 stars, but you won't be really E2ing if you're just trying to save and take 6 stars the entire time. And, might I mention, it's going to put you at odds with a tile to the left of that, 2 tiles to the left of that, have 2 of each rarity. It looks like those might possibly be mutually exclusive.
Oh, wow. Wait, that's very interesting. Have we yet seen a mutually exclusive tile like that?
Well,
Oh,
I wouldn't
no.
say it's necessarily mutually exclusive, but like good luck trying to get both of those in the same run. Is it possible? Yes. Do I think you can do it? Hell no.
Oh my god. Okay. Wow, these are some very difficult challenges. Not necessarily difficult to get, but rather difficult to set up to get multiple within 1 run. You know, in the previous runs leading up to this, the previous boards, I felt like there were ways to kind of combo tiles together so that you can get them on floor 1 and floor 2 within 1 run, and maybe do another floor 1 and floor 2 run to get another combo of tiles. But this one seems like you really have to think carefully and do like a floor 4 run twice or something to grab a string of challenges.
For sure, because there are definitely a few challenges that I can see people needing to go back for. Enter floor 3 with 4 or more E2. That's definitely going to put you at odds with have 5 6 stars, or even perhaps having 2 of each rarity if you're going to be working towards that. Land 3 hovering enemies in 1 stage. Hovering enemies do not start being common until floors 4 and 5, so you're going to have to go all the way up there and then all the way back to floor 1 if you really want to restart. Reach 10 squad size, also sort of a late game thing. 2 save houses, potentially late game. 4 dice in 1 run, mid to late game. Have 30 or more maximum hope. That can play nicely, actually, with have 5 6 stars. But again, a lot of these tiles seem to be, least at face value, at odds with one another. So it'll be interesting to see if our players try and knock 2 tiles out with 1 sort of squad or composition, or if they're just going to go 1 at a time and not be so easily distracted.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both players are going to have some difficulty with this map. We might see a much slower grind up to the finale. One trend that I saw yesterday that was that even though there might be a lot of words on the board, as the game goes progressively faster to like about 10-20 minutes in, the board becomes a lot more clear what remains, and these players will be able to have a little more perception into exactly what kind of route they can take to complete the rest of the board. So even though the first 10 minutes might be very slow, might seem very slow, every single minute ticking forward allows our players to get more foresight into that future, and I'm excited to see who's going to take advantage of that within the first 10 minutes.
Yes, and might I add, we actually discussed this a little bit last night as well, whether we would see players aggressively jockeying for position, taking as many tiles as they can in the early game, and then scrambling for the pickings, or if they're going to try and play, you know, more slow and steady wins the race, very sort of core-oriented, build your squad, worry about the objectives a little less, and more about getting as far as you can with the most cohesive squad in the quickest time possible.
Yeah. One thing, kind of piggybacking off of what you just said, one thing I realized yesterday as well was that if one player actually goes and tries to get those one-off tiles that are kind of difficult to get in like a more holistic run from 1 to 5, that actually enables the other player to get a lot more clear of a vision as they actually pursue floor 4 and 5. So in a way, you're kind of like nerfing yourself by going for those one-off tiles, because the person later on will have a lot more clairvoyance into exactly what they need to get a higher score. So I love to see that kind of play out. That might be a trap for our players. We might actually just end up seeing 2 really fast runs, trying to go for the max clear as possible, and then maybe like a reset around floor... Oh wait, actually no, that's center tile. Defeat floor 5 boss. We've never seen that one before.
I was wondering when you would comment on that. Yes, defeat a floor 5 boss. Now, note that it does not specify which. It also does not specify if you have to go to floor 6. So, you know, maybe if someone feels a little spicy, they'll go pick up a floor 6. Just kidding. Why would you ever do that?
There's a floor 6?
Yes, there is a floor 6.
Wait, is that like a second ending? Like
third ending, actually. You've done the 3 endings in IS2, right?
Yeah.
I feel like you have, because I feel like I watched that happen, but now you're making me doubt myself. Thanks for the gaslighting, Viper.
No, okay, I did ending 1 and 2. Wait, how many are there 5 endings in IS? I've done forever.
There are 3 endings in IS3, and a 4th one will be released in about 5 to 6 months, in the same manner as IS2 originally started with 3 and got a 4th release. And in the same vein as well, there are 2 bosses that can be encountered on floor 5. The standard one, which was Phantom, or in this case, the Paranoia Illusion. There is the boss that you have to work towards, which is the Teddy Bear, Big Sad Luck, or in this case, the Last Night. And then finally, the 3rd boss, which you need to beat a floor 5 boss and then proceed to floor 6, which in IS3 was the troop leader, and in this case is, I'm not going to tell you, but what I will say is I personally enjoyed killing them very much.
Oh my god. Well, either way, do you, looking at the board right here, think there is any reason for our players to go to floor 6 with ending 3? I don't think so, at least not yet.
Let's see. Not necessarily. I mean, if you wanted to flex or puff a lot of copium.
I see. Well, we'll have to see. We are getting a 1-minute countdown from the top until our players start. 10 minutes has almost passed, and let us see what these 2 players are going to cook up right now.
All right, looks like they're picking their starting squads. Let's see. Oh, we got a Highmore start from Disa and a Highmore start from Wayhazel. That's it. No blue women allowed. Let's freaking go.
Wow.
More importantly, I see some hotkey stuff on Hazel's screen. Hello.
Oh, they're ready. They're min-maxing at this point. Wow. So instead of seeing a run that picks up Highmore along the way, they do want to try to get that one tile done as fast as possible. Wow, both players thinking that one is one of the easier ones to get.
Which one do you think they're going for again? Oh, the Highmore stage? You are correct, because it is... Yes, I think Highmore can solo a lot of stages on floor 1 and even possibly up through floor 2. But I wonder then if they're going to immediately pivot towards having 2 of each rarity, or if someone might try and go for have 5 6 stars. Personally, if you ask me, I think have 5 6 stars is going to be one of those tiles that is a trap and that gets left for the very end, because the amount of hope that you would need to save up and the amount of resources that you would be depriving yourself of in trying to save up for those units might actually set you back a long ways, depending on how the early stages go.
Wow, very interesting here. We do have the Highmore on both Disa and Wayhazel's screen, but they did opt to choose a few different operators here. Wayhazel deciding to spend a lot more hope in general, picking up that Pog Danko and that Perfumer?
Yes, that is Perfumer.
Oh, interesting. So, wow. So Disa actually instead saving a lot more hope. What do you think about those decisions?
I think it's a little too early to call, but... Oh, what operator was that? Interesting. Oh.
Wait, what?
Oh, look at this. Wait, now I'm confused.
Disa going in with only their Highmore and their Ansel healer?
Well, there is a tile that says clear a stage with only 2 classes in your squad, and one might take a pause to ask why Ansel instead of a unit that can do damage, because Highmore is a Reaper, and as you know, Reapers, since they're, La Pluma type, cannot be healed by actual medics. But I believe what Disa is going to do is going to be using Ansel as a target for those yellow slugs, the one that's crossing the top of the screen there, to throw at Ansel, so Highmore's defense does not get lowered, except Disa is not deploying Ansel at all. And apparently is just content to let Highmore solo, so, okay, go Highmore.
Oh, wow. I would not have caught that myself. I did not know that, I did not know that Highmore was a self-regener. Does that mean that they cannot be healed?
Yes, she cannot be healed by normal means, but you see the Perfumer in Wayhazel's squad, correct? With Perfumer's talent, Highmore can actually recover some HP. Not a lot,
because it's
but, you know.
passive, and that's because Perfumer's trait allows her to do so?
Yes, exactly. And then, of course, units like Scotty Alter on S2 can help with that. Angelina's passive as well. Any other Bard. That's all I can think of off the top of my head, honestly.
Wow. And just with that, I believe Wayhazel does claim one tile, as we were commentating, promoting an operator without using any hope. And then Disa, on the other hand, are they going to claim to have two rare... two classes in your squad, clearing a stage. There we go, tying it up 1-1 right now. Both...
Yes, and these players... Oh, this is going to be very close. Now, I'm not sure if you noticed, Viper, but this is the third combat, yes?
Oh my god, wait, you're right. And they both started around the same exact time.
And it's the exact same stage.
Oh no. Wait. Oh, both of them, I see they're at 28 enemies each, meaning that either a boss didn't or did not spawn for either of them. Is that correct?
It looks, it doesn't look like there's an extra enemy. So yes, basically whoever gets that mission complete banner first is going to be the one who takes it home.
Oh no. Right now, it does look like because of Wayhazel's positioning of that Highmore, he cannot take care of the invisible enemies in the top right. And this is going to be some trouble for him.
Not necessarily. The last enemy on this map, if I am correct, comes along the bottom, so Wayhazel is knowingly putting his Highmore in a very aggressive position in order to secure the win, at the cost of leaking all those stealth snipers, of which I believe those are the last ones. Those are the last stealth snipers. But now Wayhazel in some trouble because those snipers are taking time to shoot the units, and Wayhazel is indeed retreating those units. But it's too late! Disa runs away with it!
Oh my god, Wayhazel's strategy crumbles in the final moment just for this one tile, and Disa is able to claim it just a second earlier.
And Wayhazel getting severely punished for that play, not only by losing 4 life points, but also by dropping down in hope. And now Wayhazel going to be in a very precarious position with regards to moving between floors as we continue.
Oh no, that is tragic. The fact that both players decided to go in.
Oh, yo. Benspear's Bloodbath. That is a solid relic. I'm sorry, I got distracted. I love Benspear's Bloodbath. That book allows guards to gain 2 SP every time they attack, which would basically turn Highmore into a one-person shredding machine. Unfortunately, though, Wayhazel not picking that up, so we will not be seeing Highmore the Wood Chipper in this stream today.
Oh my god. All right, slowing down a little. We are seeing Disa picking up another another challenge, spending 12 or more ingots at a downtown recreation. Was able to hit that a lot sooner than Wayhazel.
And Disa spending 4 dice in one run with the sheer amount of rolling that they are doing. Hello.
Oh my god.
Hello. Hey, I know this is a gacha game, but are you supposed to roll that much?
Do you think that this is just a matter of RNG, that Disa was able to hit that a lot earlier, or was Wayhazel just not aware?
I would say definitely a matter of RNG, and it looks like... Sorry, I thought they were going for an objective there, but no, it seems I'm mistaken.
Got it. I see
I'm
now.
going to take a little bit of a sidetrack and... Oh, would you look at that? Wayhazel is going for clear a stage with only operators that cost more than 20 DP.
Oh wait, so you are right. A Highmore does cost more than 20 DP. For a second, I was wondering why they decided not to choose the other operators in their squad, because the clear stages with only 2 classes was already taken. But no.
Yes, and that's why I was a little confused there. But no, it does look like Wayhazel does have a plan, and they're going to be going full speed ahead with it. So it looks like they'll be taking that tile very shortly, unless things go horribly wrong.
Yeah, very impressive that Wayhazel's able to keep their head in the game despite going down by 3 extra tiles. This is going to be a very close fight. I can already feel it. Just because of that blunder, I think Wayhazel just still has a chance to go up, given that a lot of these challenges will be able to get done in floor 3+. Well, we'll have to see. One tile that did catch my eye is having 30 or more max hope. Is max hope different from just hope?
No, maximum hope basically refers to the total amount of hope that you have at any one time. So basically just like the total sum of it, which you'll just gain naturally over time exploring. So at that point, it's literally just a race to who gets 30 maximum hope first. It's not something that they can control. It's just going to be passively picked up on the road, I believe. But more importantly, someone in the chat raising a very interesting technicality. Highmore is actually 20 DP exactly, and the tile says more than 20 DP. So it looks like we'll see if Wayhazel gets that, but that is a very valid technicality. Oh, okay, looks like Wayhazel does get it.
Okay. Luckily, giving them the technicality, that was a very small one, but thank God Wayhazel able to get away with that and get back onto the board with that specific strategy. Otherwise, he'll be very behind. Going for that entire run, a much slower run in general, going for that big risk just for a failed tile, that would have been very tragic there.
Now, what I'm very interested in is seeing if anyone's going to try and go for recruit 4 operators of the same race, or clear a stage with at least 4 male operators, given that male operators seem to see a little less use than, say, other operators. And I must also interject here and say, I am actually not 100% sure if we know the races of the reserve operators in the same way that, no, officially, they do not have a listed gender. So I wonder if there will be that technicality coming into play as well if people do decide to try and use reserve operators.
Yeah, that does throw back to yesterday's match, or 2 days ago when Goody was trying to claim the gender of one of those reserve operators. So we'll have to see what happens in this case. I believe both players do not have that many male operators, so that might be something to do in the next run, or pick up way later into floor 4 and floor 5.
I'm trying to read these squads for operators of the same race, and nothing is ringing a bell to me right now. It does look like Wayhazel might be building towards something Shamare Podenko. I'm sorry, I'm going to need to look at their squad a little bit more. I am not 100% sure what Roberta or Perfumer are, but that might actually... I'm not 100% sure what those 4 races are, but it does look like that Wayhazel is building towards Vulpa, or the Foxes.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Wayhazel picking up a little more ground right now. As I just noticed, they were actually the first one to reach floor 3 with 4 or more E2s. Not even sure if Disa had that one in their hand, but Wayhazel having more E2s, given that they have a lot... wait. I just saw Disa picked up a Vigil? Wait, when did that happen?
Yes, Disa picked up a Vigil on the last floor on a recruit voucher. But more importantly, I think I understand what Disa is trying to do. While Wayhazel got away with the E2s, Disa might be trying to make a squad that has 2 operators of each rarity. However, running into a little trouble just because of that vastly diverse squad composition, running into some trouble with the Broodmothers and the Caster, needing to kill at least one of them here. If not, that might be a restart.
Oh my god.
I can't see how much HP they have.
They do have 8 HP left, so luckily they do have a bigger pool than we thought. Disa clearing that stage, using that Calcit. Calcit on skill 2. I've never really seen that. Maybe it's not because of skill 3, but is skill 2 a viable option with Calcit?
Skill 2 is a viable option, and well, hey, why are you asking me? I don't use Calcit.
Well, you don't use Calcit?
No, she's not a bird.
Oh my.
But from what I am aware, I believe that monster on S2 does attack all enemies that it is blocking, and therefore it does make for larger wave clearing capacity instead of S3, which is a single target only, and thus against things like the Brood Mothers would be the better skill to use, S2.
Wow, Wayhazel completing that stage so quickly right there. I actually thought he would run into a lot more issues with the eggs, but Roberta being used somehow to mitigate the damage. I've never seen Roberta in place. She's a 4-star, right? So she's probably not that good. But what does Roberta do?
Roberta is, to quote the words of Dr. Silvergun, Roberta isn't that good until she is, because her skill allows her to generate little tokens, and when you put the token on one of your units, well, it has to be a ground unit, then the token makes it so that the next instance of damage gets it just gets ignored. So things like the contingency contract and chapter 10 cannon, the Steam Knight's charged attack, basically anything that could ruin your day, Roberta can just deploy one of her tokens and shrug it right off.
Wait, what? That sounds like she's a defender. I thought she's a supporter.
She is a supporter. She's supporting. It's part of the name, Viper.
Oh. Well.
Ah, I see. And down there on Wayhazel's screen, you can see that Highmore has been afflicted by ADHD, also known as the condition that makes you activate your skill as soon as you have full SP cost, except Highmore actually just does that automatically, and so nothing of value was lost.
Oh my god, wait, the Highmore absolute tank out here, destroying all the enemies across 3 different tiles. This is incredible. Both players now having so many operators in their hand. I wonder what kind of tiles they're going for at this point. This is the most tiles I've seen on floor 3. Sorry, this is the most operators I've seen in one squad on floor 3.
But more importantly, this is the longest we've gone in... I feel like even in yesterday's matches, this is one of the longest periods we've gone without a tile being claimed. So these players just slowly making that progression. But I think we have seen the opening jockeying for tiles, and it has evened out at 4-3. Now it's just going to be a long, hard slog to those upper floors and anything that can be picked up on the way. But Highmore taking those crabs very, very well. Man, I wish I could do that.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more slow grind as we enter the upper floors. Some of these do take so much more investment. For example, I think as both one thing that I like to do in my IS2 run is try to promote as much as possible instead of focusing on just number of quantity of operators. But both of these guys opting instead to grab as many operators as possible, maybe to get that reach 10 squad size tile.
Well, that is actually different from... Well, I must make a distinction here. It says squad size, not have 10 operators in your squad. Therefore, they only need to have squad size 10. And if you remember, Viper, from IS2, in IS2, you increased your squad size by basically just leveling up through combat or having specific relics. Now, in IS3, you can increase your deployment and squad counts by leveling up, but there are also what I call common relics, where you go to an event such, well, okay, you didn't play IS3, so I'm going to just not go into that specific. But you can run into encounters that will give you a very, very low effect relic, and it's basically just +1 squad size and +1% attack, or +2 deployment slots, +4% to all operator HP. And they're very common and sort of negligible relics, but those are the ways in which you can increase your squad size. So if you were lucky enough to run into, say, 3 or so of those encounters, that's how you could reach 10 squad size, but that is very down to RNG. And if you don't pick those up, then you will have to fight it out all the way to try and get that condition met. And sorry, I got briefly distracted because Wayhazel is on a stage with destroyable rubble.
What are those black tinted enemies? What the heck? Those look like goblins.
Goblin Disa. Sorry, they're Naruto's shadow clones.
Wait, is that the boss on floor 3?
Yes, that is one of the 3 bosses on floor 3.
He's gonna leak! This ain't looking good!
No, the boss is simply going on a very long and belabored field trip with its shadow clones. Yeah, haven't you seen Naruto? But more importantly, the boss and its shadow clones are going to make short work of that piece of rubble, and once that's done, Wayhazel will have gotten that objective.
Oh wow, so Wayhazel facing the floor 3 boss a lot sooner than Disa. One thing that comes to mind as well is that yesterday we saw a lot more just speeding through encounters and trying to rush through the floors instead of carefully taking these extra combat operations. Do you think with this kind of tile it would be advantageous to run into more combat ops and try to grab as much as hope, as many relics as possible? What do you think?
Well, that is basically how you play in higher surging. You take combats on the lower floors to try and build your hope and get as many recruitment chances as possible to build your ideal squad. And then once you've done that, on the higher floors, there is a chance that you can dodge around combats, because if you've prepared your squad enough, then you can avoid those combats without necessarily the same dire penalty that you would normally have otherwise, or your squad has been built to such strength that you can actually take those stages that would otherwise give you difficulty. And I must intervene right now and say that we are getting word from the mod squad that the top left tile, clear a stage with only operators that cost more than 20 DP in the squad, is in fact being revoked on the technicality that Highmore cost exactly 20.
Oh no way, I just realized that as well. The blue is now gone. Or no, that was Wayhazel's tile, right? So Wayhazel's effort going to waste.
But Wayhazel did manage to have all breakable rubble in a stage be broken, and Disa has now taken have 30 or more max hope.
Oh, wow. And just like that, Disa does take a slight advantage once again, putting it at 5-3. Oh, wait, did I just see? I believe the recruit and exclusive IS 5-star operator was also revoked. I saw Wayhazel.
I believe that was a misclick.
Oh, but he did pick the defender from IS2. I forgot what his name is, I thought.
That is Shayla.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he didn't recruit Shayla?
I'm going to have to get back to you on that one because I was not watching that part of the screen at the time.
Huh. Okay,
But
interesting.
now,
We'll see what happened there.
Now
we'll
that
see.
the 20 DP tile has been revoked, that is something that I think that players could go back and try to claim if they decide to start, to restart a run and go back and pick up some easier tiles. So we may in fact see some resets later on in this match just to go and claim those easier tiles.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see when both of these players decide to go for that quick reset. That's going to be pivotal because the second someone else does it, that shows that the other opponent must have to also be quick on resetting as well, finishing their run as fast as possible so that they can compete for those limited tiles.
And also, they're going to still need to build towards a squad that can actually take on the floor 5 boss because, well, I personally haven't really used many of these operators that I see on the screen, except for Gnosis up on Disa's screen. But if you asked me to go against that floor 5 boss with this team, I'd probably look at you a little strangely and go, what does Highmore do?
Okay. Right now, Wayhazel, looking really bad. I don't know how that Highmore is living on that burning tile right now without a healer. What the heck is that sustained damage? Oh,
well, Highmore just got destroyed by that very aggressive swordsman right there. But the reason that Highmore was able to survive for so long is because Highmore heals based on her block count. So since her block count is by default 2, she gains 50 HP for each enemy that she attacks up to her block count, therefore 100 HP per attack. But I don't actually know if her talent increases that in IS3 since I obviously haven't used Highmore.
what? How do you know so much about Highmore? Is she a burb?
No, I've just seen her a lot on people's runs because she's very good at IS3. That and I read sometimes.
Well, looking at the very top, Disa right now leaking quite a lot of enemies on this stage. Might be put in some trouble. Only 5 HP remaining. Again, it's been a while since we've seen some tiles claimed, but it is still a lead for Disa.
Oh! Disa might actually land 3 hovering enemies in one stage with that Gnosis, because as you remember from yesterday, those manta rays can be knocked onto the ground if they are slept, frozen, or stunned. And with the Gnosis in the party, that Gnosis is doing some great work in freezing those manta rays. So I believe, yes, there we go. Disa has just claimed it. Land 3 hovering enemies in one stage. Thank you, Gnosis.
Oh my god, just in that one sweep, we see Disa taking that land 3 hovering enemies, and also another tile? No. Now they getting one tile and Wayhazel getting the other tile for having 5 or more objective shield. Oh, I don't know how you picked that one up.
Objective shield is something that you can gain from certain relics, or alternatively, if you have progressed far enough on the IS3 talent tree, there is a talent that makes it so if you have more than 10 HP, or more than 10, standard HP, then you can gain shield HP every time you go into a combat and don't leak or something like that. It's been a while since I looked at that part of the skill tree.
Oh, that's interesting. I would say in that 1 second, another fell sweep. Both players taking one more tile themselves. Disa taking clear a stage with only 2 classes. Wait, no, not that one. Wait, I can't read. My bad. Wayhazel taking half 5 6 stars. We talked about that earlier. That one specific challenge requiring a lot of hope, but they just happen to do it.
Yes, and it looks like... Yes, while Wayhazel's been building towards that, I think Disa has actually been building towards something else, because if you'll notice on Disa's screen right now, there are 3 male operators, meaning that Disa only needs to recruit 1 more in order to have that clear stage with at least 4 male operators condition.
Oh, that is a very good... Wait, isn't Monster a male?
I think Monster's gender is spine. Do you
Oh.
want to go ask Monster? You can go ask. I'm not asking. You go ask.
Well, anyways, that is a very good observation. And we shall see. Wait, they just happen to be on the same exact stage. How did that happen? The eggs are coming too.
Luck of the draw? It does look like Wayhazel will be finishing first, though. Assuming that... Oh, wow, look at that HP count. No, Wayhazel is definitely going to be getting out of this one safely, but Disa in a little bit of trouble. I'm not sure if they're going to have the ability to take care of all these enemies, so they might be in a bit of a precarious situation depending on how these enemies all shake out.
Oh yeah, this is going to be very tough right now. We see the absolute advantage of having a lot more operators and 6 stars, especially E2s as well, on Wayhazel's screen.
And Wayhazel might actually be taking the deploy only on special tiles, or tiles that have pop-ups if you click on them, because if you'll notice, Wayhazel didn't deploy a single ranged operator, and therefore, yes, Wayhazel does take it. Wayhazel making a very strong comeback right now.
Oh my god, you're right. Wow, just a few minutes ago, put down in a disadvantage. Now, is this a tie game? Both 6 apiece.
Yes, but it is going to start getting very, very competitive up on floor 5. And is that a hand? That is a hand! And Wayhazel does get to keep it. That is a hand. Now, what Wayhazel has to do is only get... Oh, man, I don't remember these operators.
Wait, what's a hand? What the...
There are certain relics in IS-2 that boost certain archetypes' performance. Hand of Pulverization. And does Wayhazel have the corresponding operator for it, though? Wayhazel is going to need... Oh, wait. Oh, a Splashcaster? Oh, looks like... Wait, Corecaster? Ugh. Look, don't ask me to identify what AF Eala is. AF Eala's kit is an abomination upon mankind. But what you do need to know, Viper, is that certain hands buff certain archetypes, and Hand of Pulverization is one such hand that, personally, I think goes very well with Via Meta, but also plays nicely with W, Rosmontis, and other operators. And it looks like we're seeing a reset out of Wayhazel.
What? Wait, what? Did they not believe in their ability to defeat the floor 5 boss?
I think Wayhazel is actually understands that perhaps resetting and going for some easy pickings might be better than trying to stay in 15 more minutes of combat just for one single tile. Let's think about this now. So, complete a hard task. Neither of these players ran into the regional commission, and therefore, you're going to have to reset for that. Clear a stage with only operators. Oh, and Disa reset as well. Perhaps Wayhazel feeling intimidated by that. Perhaps Wayhazel felt intimidated, but they're both going back to the start. And as I was saying before, clear a stage with only operators that cost more than 20 DP in the squad. Very easy to get on the lower floors. I'm not so sure about recruit an exclusive IS 5-star operator or get a hand, but those tiles are very easy pickings to get on floors 1 and 2, and everything else you can just pick up after you've restarted your run on your way back up.
Wow, this was an unexpected turn. Both players primed to go through floor 5 and kill the boss on their own timing depending on the luck, but because Disa had restarted and Wayhazel very aware of their opponent, they also decided to restart, and this is where every single second matters. Every single second we move forward.
Wayhazel is going for clear a stage with at least 4 male operators and only needs 1 more recruit to do so.
Oh, wait, what? Wait, is ThermX a male operator?
Yes, ThermX does have an operator recruitment file, and the file does say ThermX is male. Therefore, ThermX is male.
Way. Bro, that guy's AI!
I mean, he would like to be referred to as male, therefore, I guess ThermX is male.
Oh my god. So one crucial thing that I'm realizing now with the remaining tiles, it's not yet reached the very end game. The end game very reliant on luck, but as we reach this very solid middle game, oh no, wait, is this disaster? Oh no.
No, it does look like Wayhazel can actually make it out with 1 HP left. Unfortunately, there is no tile for League 5 enemies, so Wayhazel going to be in very precarious position because that tile says clear a stage with at least 4 male operators, not enter a stage. So hopefully Wayhazel can pick up an Ansel here. If not, Wayhazel's going to be in a little bit of trouble, and it looks like, oh no, they're picking up Executor. Surely this cannot go wrong.
Who even uses that trash operator? What the hell?
Not me.
Oh no.
Oh look, Wayhazel just got some HP, but Wayhazel not running into a combat any longer, and Wayhazel just picked up one of the relics that I was telling you about, Viper. Oh look, Hand of Diffusion! That costs twice as much, and Hand of Super Speed. Wayhazel picking up Hand of Super Speed, another hand that caters specifically to certain types of specialists. So Wayhazel in very good position for 2 of these tiles, the hand and operator, as well as clear a stage with 4 male operators, but also Wayhazel in some significant trouble from that misplay on the first stage, only having 4 HP. It's going to be very dicey.
Oh gosh, you can kind of see the thought process that Wayhazel has arrived at right now. He is very much scuffing to the T, and all he has to do is grab these challenges before he dies to the stage and go for a reset. Disa, on the very other hand, going into floor 2 themselves. I am still yet to know what they are planning to do with this second run. Wait, what? Did you see that? Disa going into the stage with only a Mud Rock right now.
Well, technically that is clear a stage with only operators that cost more than 20 DP, and because Disa has the tactical equipment, giving Mudrock more SP, it does feel like perhaps there is a chance that Mudrock can actually get away with this. And I must also tell you that because of Disa's very clever playing on the floor 1 stage, it does look like Disa also picked up swap your tactical equipment just from the simple act of, if I am understanding correctly, buying one tactical equipment and then buying another.
Oh my god. Wait, that tactical equipment proving very, very strong for Mudrock right there. Being able to swing that hammer literally every single second despite not being able to, not even having the enemies hit them. This is ridiculous.
Yes, but those fish do like to come in crowds, and Mudrock is only going to be swinging that hammer once every 3 or so seconds based on the SP gain from that tower alone, and so Disa might be in some trouble depending on how quickly these fish rush in and how quickly those fish are going to... Oh no, Disa clinging onto it.
Oh my god,
clinging
run was almost over.
It looks like they will take that tile.
Wow.
But Wayhazel, in response, taking clear a stage with at least 4 male operators.
Wow, we see right here both players going for completely different tiles right here. Maybe they are aware of the tiles their opponent are going for. We're not seeing any immediate clashes right now, but at a certain point, if a player is exceptionally behind, they're going to have to look at what the other person is looking at and try to snipe those tiles for themselves.
It also looks like Disa might be going towards have all classes deployed at the same time, if I were to take a guess. Now, obviously this isn't going to be happening for some time, but if you'll notice, Disa currently has 4 of the 8, and I believe had at least 5, like numbers 5 and 6, waiting in the wings. So we may see Disa slowly starting to work towards that one.
Yeah, absolutely. That specific tile does seem like something that must be accomplished closer to floor 3 or floor 4 at the latest. And we'll see if they're able to get that very soon. Wayhazel might also be going for that right now. They do have a caster, a vanguard. They have executor for the sniper. They have thermex for specialist. So honestly, both are primed to go for such a tile. But
I
we'll
do
have to
think
see.
Wayhazel is in a bit of trouble here because, as you may have noticed, there are no healers, and this is a very, very dicey stage. There's a lot of fish going through. Passenger with S3 able to clear them out, but there is the danger of the caster coming through at the end. So who knows? I feel like Wayhazel might have this, but there is that danger, and it does look like Passenger is clearing those fish out, though. So I think Wayhazel is actually going to get through this, and Disa finishing up at the top as well. But most importantly, hey, why hasn't anyone recruited 4 operators at the same race yet? Bird Knights Gaming, hello.
Who is closer to that tile? I don't even know.
One.
Yeah, actually, they're kind of
No
well spread out.
one.
No one's focusing on that. That seems like a gentleman's agreement to do that at the very end or something. Both of them focusing on completely different ones. Oh my God! Do you see that? Disa claiming. Never mind. Disa only claiming 1 extra tile. Visit 2 safe houses.
Oh, it does look like they managed to get that done. So let's see. Disa looks like they have 9 and Wayhazel at 7. All right, Disa taking a very strong lead, especially given how difficult it is to claim tiles this late in the game. And all right, Wayhazel picking up a Texas Theomertosa. All right, very interesting.
Oh, so we saw that Wayhazel went to that. Did he just pick up a hard task? Is that what just happened?
I'm not sure. I think so. It happened a little too quickly for me to notice. I was actually looking up at Disa's screen. It does look like a lot. It looks like some of these longer tasks are being ignored by both players, though. Having 2 of each rarity and recruiting 4 operators of the same race, it doesn't look like either of these players are very cognizantly working towards that at the moment. And personally, I don't blame them. But personally, I don't think a lot of players play with race nights specifically in mind, and I certainly wouldn't be going to Wikipedia to look up, or fandom, I guess, to look up which races have which operators at this stage of the game. So who knows? Maybe we'll just see both of them ignore it.
Yeah, absolutely. As we do countdown, there are only 30 minutes remaining in this 60-minute match, meaning that time is coming to us still. The opportunity to do such a full 5 floor run might not come true at this point, and it might go into oh, what just happened?
Sorry, I was like, is Wayhazel lagging for you as well?
Oh yeah, I think his screen is it's dying.
Oh. Ugh, okay. Wow, and then we had Disa go all the way back out to the front screen. So, oh man, I don't know what happened there. It looks like the nerves might be getting to our players with their intense clicking.
Oh yeah, Wayhazel's screen is dying a little, but still holding on. We'll have to see. I feel like both players run the risk right now.
Wait, hold on a second. Now, didn't Wayhazel pick up a hand? And isn't Texas Alter?
Oh, I have no clue. I believe he did pick up a hand earlier, but I thought hands were specific to very particular kinds of niche operators.
Yes, and that's what I am confused about. If I'm correct, Wayhazel picked up hand of super speed. Doesn't that apply to Texas Alter? I wish I could ask Wayhazel to go and, check that hand out for me right now, because, oh man, if Wayhazel forgot to declare, that's going to be a severe misplay. But I personally am just not sure which hand it is.
I guess we'll have to see very soon. Right now, score check: Disa versus Wayhazel. It's a 9-7 score. Slightly ahead for Disa, but both players cooking up a very interesting second run, not focusing on the long-term objectives at the moment, but rather some of the short-term ones they can pick up very quickly, some due to RNG.
All right, you know what? I am going to look this up because this one's bothering me, Viper. Do me a favor and keep on commentating while I look up exactly what the hell the hand of super speed does.
All right, well, we'll have to see what that does. Let me know when you get back to that. Right now, Wayhazel, Disa, I believe they're on floor 2 or floor 3 right now, working towards that floor 3 boss.
Here we go. Executor, Ambusher, and Dollkeeper operators gain attack speed when there are no friendly units in the adjacent 8 or 4 tiles. Well, 4 for IS-3, I guess. And, I might hate Texas Alter, but I'm pretty sure she's an Executor, right?
Wait, what? Executor is Executor. What?
Well, in that case, Wayhazel should definitely check it off because Executor is Executor. I'm kidding. So I'm not sure if Wayhazel got rid of the hand or if something weird is going on, but it feels... Am I missing something?
Or maybe they're not aware.
Perhaps they forgot.
They could have forgot. A lot is going on right now. Only a handful of tiles are left, though. Only 8 tiles remaining. They should have that clairvoyance if they do have that relic.
And I think some of these tiles, though, we may not even see picked up at all. Recruit an exclusive IS 5-star operator is just so RNG related that I personally wouldn't be surprised if we don't see that one picked up at all.
So for that tile specifically, is it simply Highmoor and... Wait, no, not Highmoor. What exactly
no,
is
they're
that?
the ones that are exclusive to integrated strategies, the ones that you cannot encounter anywhere else. So I believe they would be Sharp, Pith, Touch, Storm Eye, and now for IS-3, Tulip.
Oh.
And before you say anything, yes, that is a D's Nuts joke. I'm not going to make it.
Tulip?
I'm not making it, Viper. You're not going to get it out of me. All right, Wayhazel on a recruitment screen, going for a sniper. Wayhazel, can you please check your relics? Because I really want to know what hand you've got.
Well, at this point in time, Wayhazel still not claiming that tile, so we may assume that they just do not have that hand anymore for whatever reason right now. Disa, right now, in the top, dealing with that stage. We're still unable to decipher what they're going for, but honestly, given that it's been a while since either player has claimed the tile, they may actually be going for those longer-term plays that we were talking about just earlier.
Well, hold on a second. I see that Disa might be cooking something. Except I'm pretty sure that Steward is a... Wait, is Steward a feline or a lupo?
What's a
Disa
feline?
has... that's a cat, and a lupo
yes.
is a wolf.
Oh,
Yes.
that's the same
Horn,
thing.
Horn is a lupo, and Texas Alter is a lupo, but I'm not sure what Steward is. So, now you've got me on that one.
Well, we'll see if they decide to continue picking up the lupo or the feline. But Wayhazel should be pretty close to that objective at this point.
Which objective, Viper?
Recruiting 4 operators of the same race, right? They have 3? Isn't Kaobe also a feline? Or sorry, lupo?
No, Kaobe is a doge, so that would be a pero.
What?
Yes,
The-
Arknights is very, very weird about its caniform. Arknights is weird about its dog classifications, okay? Okay, glad we had that conversation.
I see. Okay. Both players still making some progress. I'm saying for this tile right here, kill a bomb tail. What floor can we find a bomb tail?
I believe floors 4 and 5. On the Pompeii stage, which is on floor 4, and on Mechanical Menace, which should be floor 5. And I think that's it.
Wow, so that is one that is bound by RNG, and we'll see if they make it there. Right now, both players still going through floor 3. Is Disa on that boss stage right now? I believe so, right?
Yes. Disa is currently going up against the Bishop and the Scorpion. So, again, I don't think there's anything that Disa can necessarily get on this stage alone. I think what we're going to be seeing right now is a lot of longer-term oriented gaming. And now, Viper, I want to ask if you can notice something. Does that Scorpion look a little funny to you?
No.
Well, normally that Scorpion is green, but now it's blue.
What? How did that happen?
If you enter, well, if you don't have full light, but more commonly if you have low light, there is a chance that you can enter a floor 3 boss fight that has a harder version of the boss.
What? But bro, it literally got one shot by Mudrock. What is that?
We are on Surging 0, so, you know, it's
Oh my
it's a little
god, what a
easier.
disgrace. Oh wait, I see Disa has actually picked up an NTR. I actually haven't seen many NTR picks. What do you think they're doing with that one?
I'm not 100% sure with that. Have 5 6 stars has already been checked off. Perhaps they're working towards Karanta, but they only have 2 Karanta. That would be the race of horses. So I'm not quite sure. I think we might have to just see what Disa is planning with this. But finally, Wayhazel has finally checked off Texas Alter. Hallelujah! Never thought I'd say anything positive in relation to Texas Alter, but whoo, we finally got it, boys.
That must have been a late claim, right? Do you think he may have just realized that?
Well, we did see Wayhazel exit out to go check something in the operator records.
No.
It was not Texas Alter, but Wayhazel very clearly getting some vibe checks done. So who knows?
Yes. Honestly, maybe we were cooking up a little too much storm over here talking about that, and maybe he overheard. But either way, it does bring it up to a 10-9 lead for Disa. Wayhazel only 1 tile behind, and after that, only 7 tiles remaining. A lot of them contingent on the later floors.
And may I comment that Disa actually has a squad size of 9 right now. So Disa in a somewhat solid position to make a move there.
Oh, wait, you are right. So if that tile does go to Disa, that does bring them to a 2-point match point. And there's not much left that can be done other than just going up to the 4th or 5th floor and maybe just defeating the floor 5 boss at that point.
Yes, I agree. Unless Wayhazel manages some amazing relic RNG, it does look like Reach 10 squad size is going to very definitively go to Disa. So, I'm trying to see if there's anything else that could be picked up. It doesn't look like have 2 of each class is something... Oh, wait. No. My mistake. It doesn't look like have all classes deployed at the same time as something that's going to be coming out of either player very soon. The 4 operators of one race is just apparently not really a high concern at this point. Have 2 of each rarity is also something that is just going to be very, very difficult to pick up this late in the game. And at this point, it's just going to be down to RNG whether you get those bombtail stages, whether you can recruit an exclusive IS 5-star operator, and after that, I guess we're just going to see what tiles remain.
Yeah, absolutely. And at this point, there really isn't much left. Both players, in a way, can now use all the practice they have put into the qualifying stage, speed running to then to floor 5 as fast as possible. One thing to note is that there are only 20 minutes left. So, is it even possible to clear it within 20 minutes?
I believe it is still possible for the players to make it to the boss and possibly beat it if they get some very good RNG, but if they decide to restart now, there is definitely no way they're going to make it to floor 5, and maybe not even to the floor 3 boss. So I think these players now, whatever they've done, they're locked into it. And
Yeah.
it looks like Disa's AirPods are kind of on low battery.
Definitely, at this point in time, I believe
look at
Disa...
that.
Oh,
Wayhazel's gotten a bombtail stage.
wait, that's the bombtail stage? I don't see any
Yes.
bombtails.
Well, come on. The stage just started. They're shy. Just like, give them a little time.
Okay,
I'll
we'll
let
take
you
a
know when
look.
the bombtails come out. How about that?
Okay. That's impressive. Wayhazel getting that luck very early on then, compared to Disa. I think at this point in time...
Oh, look. There they are. There's the bombtail. That little drone over there. And it's
what
dead.
the? That's a bombtail?
Yes, that's a bombtail. What, don't you remember Annihilation 3?
Wait, but he didn't kill it without drop... Wait.
Yes, he did.
Oh, I thought the bomb...
Yes, he just did it again.
Kill a bombtail without dropping the bomb, but that bomb... No, the bomb is hitting Telopsis. I'm confused.
There was a second bomb. Those bombtails appear in pairs, and so he killed the one that was on the right with Ozzy's typewriter.
I see. Wow. Well, there we go. That brings it to a tied match right now, doesn't it? No, actually, wait, yes. 10-10?
Wait, hold on. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Disa has 10.
Oh, sorry. Wayhazel only with 9 right now, so
Yes,
still
okay.
slight advantage for Disa.
A little confusing there, but yes, Disa does have 1 point ahead of Wayhazel, but I think Wayhazel is in a very solid position. Not quite sure what those tiles, those rarity and same race tiles, are going to look like in a few minutes, but I mean, in terms of defeating the floor 5 boss, Wayhazel seems to be on solid track.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is looking pretty good.
and Disa now with the recruit. Very important decision. Did they skip? They skipped. Disa skipped. Okay, it looks like Disa is obviously saving up for something.
Oh, this is very exciting. I believe, given that Disa is just slightly ahead of Wayhazel, they do have an advantage going to the remaining stages. Wayhazel must speed their run up as much as possible to get to floor 5 and can clear these higher risk challenges as fast as possible.
Disa still not having squad size. No, still stuck at squad size 9. And now we're going to see some recruits out of Wayhazel. Wayhazel,
wait,
wait. Wayhazel is checking operator race. Hold the phone.
No way!
Hold the phone, folks.
He's aware now.
All right, Wayhazel is just, checking some operator races. Will they go for...
What is he
No,
going
no.
for?
What are you going for?
He's
What?
trying
Oh,
to
no,
complete...
Wait, is he going to check again?
No! Spending
Scotty!
valuable time right now. Wait, what? Isn't she a Seaborn?
She's A gear, I guess. Actually, I don't know what Scotty is. You make a very good point.
Huh.
All right, considering now, Saga is Pero, and Texas is Lupo. And it looks like Wayhazel having a little trouble telling all the dogs apart, but I don't blame him because I do too!
Yeah, absolutely. This spending valuable time right now on floor 4, trying to figure it out.
No! Wayhazel has squad 10 size, but isn't declaring!
Wait. Does he know? He doesn't know.
I don't know if they know.
I don't think he does, but he does end up taking that tile, recruit 4 operatives of the same race. And just with that, he ties it up with Disa now.
Yes, that is Lupo. Texas Alter, Horn, and Poziomka, all 4 of them are Lupo, also known as Wolves. Now, personally, if I had my way, I wouldn't allow Texas and Texas Alter to both count, but hey, you know what? I didn't make the rules.
This does prime both players up for a final fight to the death for 3 more tiles each. 5 tiles on the board. I wonder how that's going to shape up. Disa right now, I believe, did get some valuable time on Wayhazel as Wayhazel was trying to figure out that race question. I wonder what's going to happen now.
Wayhazel, though, very much suffering a bad case of the Fergours not declaring for squad size, and so if Disa manages to pick that up, that is going to be a very, very devastating blow to Wayhazel.
Oh god, wait, that's going to be very crucial. Disa right now might pick up another squad side based on RNG, and this might put Wayhazel in the worst position possible.
Wait, they leveled up? No, they only got max hope. That was not a squad size level. So Wayhazel escaping Disa's overtake with that, but Disa is now only one node away from the final boss.
Oh,
yes.
Wow. So if Disa can actually pull out the win right here, squad looking really good, they're going to be able to take the center tile. And that will only mean 2 remaining for Disa.
And Disa looks like they've gone into Piper's Call, which is a very easy map. If Disa fails this one, I will be severely disappointed. But here we go. Let's see how things are shaking out. Wayhazel, on the other hand, still on floor 4, very much behind in that race to defeat the floor 5 boss, but there is still have all classes deployed at the same time, which, if you'll allow me, Viper, I am now going to do some counting.
Oh man, it does look like Disa might be trying to scrap that together and trying to deploy that squad on the final stage, or even on top of that, might have an opportunity to recruit an exclusive IS-5 star operator, but that is very contingent on the RNG of this stage leading into the final boss. So
I think Wayhazel is still missing a guard.
Oh, wait, really? Wait, he has a guard,
Wait,
I thought.
no. I don't know, actually. I think Wayhazel might be missing a guard.
Okay, we'll see. Wayhazel right now choosing to pick up another medic, a Lancet.
And let me see if Disa, I do not think Disa is in position to do that yet. Disa does not have a supporter, it seems. So Disa not able to capitalize on that. But if Wayhazel does have a guard, then it looks like they may be in position to take that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Wayhazel honestly put in a very difficult situation, an entire floor behind. I wonder at what point they will decide that it's not worth to go onto floor 5. Maybe it might take a look once you get to floor 5, but on top of that, Disa finishing the stage.
Wait,
Oh.
look, Wayhazel has declared. Reach 10 squad size. Wayhazel has declared. They are aware.
Oh no, he was aware at the very last moment. This could have been so bad. So Wayhazel takes the lead then.
Yes, but Disa having a chance at the floor 5 boss now.
Oh no.
And now, I am not sure if Wayhazel is in possession of a guard. But what I will say is that there is no way that Disa is taking have all classes deployed, and there is no way that Disa is going to be able to beat this boss. Even if they do beat the boss, there is no way they are going to have 2 of each rarity. So what this is ultimately going to come down to is a question of 2 things. Number 1, is Wayhazel going to get a guard? And number 2, is Disa, once they restart, going to find and recruit an exclusive IS 5-star operator? If Disa finds that 5-star operator, then I think it's Disa's. If Wayhazel manages to get their hands on a guard, I think it's Hazel's.
Oh my god, this might be a very close game. Only about 10 minutes remaining until sudden death. And we actually might end up seeing a sudden death match here as the players fight for the final tile, assuming the RNG works out. But this is a very crucial moment right now. Wayhazel, honestly, the luck looking like pretty good as long as he's able to find that 5-star operator IS recruit. That might be very difficult for him.
I mean, I'm just going to use my experience here. I've played a lot of IS3, and the amount of times I've seen Tulip, Storm Eye, Touch, Pith, or Sharp in my runs, I think like playing 4 to 5 hours a day, I would see them maybe once a day at most. They are not very common guests.
Oh, wow. Well, we shall see.
And no Wayhazel getting a Vanguard, no guard. Does Wayhazel have a guard in their inventory, though? Let's see.
Oh, he still has quite the ways to go through
Wait,
floor 4.
hold on, that's an emergency dispatch, and they picked Hope because, of course, they're not going to let us see their roster. That's too easy.
Rolling a 6 right now, heading into the 5th floor. He's gonna take a look. This is crucial, isn't it, Zai? This look at the floor?
Well, I think... Alright, out of control. That is a very, very deadly map. But will they go for it?
Oh, he's going for it. He knows. He knows his win condition.
Interesting. Yeah, well, yes, Wayhazel does need to go actually get some more combats in order to roll for more vouchers, because you most commonly get vouchers out of combats, and therefore, if Wayhazel can pick up a guard, then that is basically just it, and that is the tile taken. But you want to know? Be really, really messed up.
What would be messed up?
You know what'd be really funny is if... I'm not going to count who's got what, but what'd be really funny is if we got 12 to 12, and then the last tile for sudden death was have 2 of each rarity.
No! We would have to see an entire run! Oh my... Sudden death would be 30 minutes long!
Yeah, I don't think that's sudden death anymore. I think that's more like slow death. But I mean, like, you know, for the comedy, for the television of it.
Disa right now defeating that floor 5 boss and taking
and
that
they've taken the tile.
Center tile.
So what are we at? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for Disa, and...
It's 11,
9,
11,
10, 11. Oh boy, here we go, boys.
No.
It's
RNG is
real.
everyone's worst friend or best friend at this point in time. Both players are relying on that very heavily to win this match.
And it looks like Disa taking that squad that lets you pick 4 operators. I am not sure what that does because I personally do not have it myself, but I wonder if that... I feel like perhaps they might be using that squad in order to try and get the RNG to, you know, hey, can you just drop a exclusive operator in my inbox, please? Right over there.
Wow. Wayhazel right now, if we look at the win conditions, obviously having 2 of each rarity might be out of question, but the other 2 tiles, recruiting an exclusive IS 5-star, could still happen, as well as having all classes deployed at the same time. All he needs is a guard to meet that condition.
You know what would be really killer, though? What would be really, really bad is if Wayhazel somehow gets the choice to get either an exclusive 5-star operator or a guard. Now, obviously, I don't think that's going to happen, but that would just be a really cruel choice to have Wayhazel make. But alternatively, and if this happens, I think you owe me $20, Viper. If Wayhazel gets a guard voucher and the guard is sharp, that's 2 for 1.
Oh my god. I can't imagine that happening.
If that happens,
crazy.
I'm going to lose it.
That happens, the game could be over right now.
It will be over. No guard! No good! No good!
Guard.
And, oh no, Wayhazel committing a very, very slight blunder here. And you may wonder why it's a blunder, but the IS 5-star exclusive operators are Stormeye, a sniper, Tulip, a vanguard, Sharp, a guard, Pith, a caster, and Touch, a medic. And yet Wayhazel went for the defender voucher instead of rolling the sniper. Even if that chance is infinitesimal, it is still a slight misplay.
That is a huge misplay in this case, given that that was a big win condition for him. Disa right now still having that opportunity to take that away. So he lost that one chance. Even how small that could have been, it was a chance.
And Wayhazel now in one of the more annoying stages. I've heard that during our qualifiers, this map killed a lot of speedruns, mostly just because of how long, apparently, this is with how you have to deal with the Reapers. And, of course, if you allow that guy on the top who's crushing all that rubble to get through all the way to the end, then you're going to have to fight a 2-front battle instead of a 1-sided battle. So Wayhazel, though, looks like they're taking care of that very cleanly, and now it's going to be up to them to make the rest of this map go to completion. But I really think Wayhazel is in some trouble here. If the recruits don't go their way, they're also going to be sent back all the way to the beginning, and at that point, Disa is going to have an advantage in looking for 2 of each rarity.
Yeah, absolutely. Disa right now, win condition is definitely the speed in a new run. Wayhazel having almost no way to have 2 of each rarity at this point unless they just continuously bash their head against encounters, but I'm not sure if they'll have that ability, so Disa will have the advantage if Wayhazel gets nothing in the next few seconds. Do you think Disa can possibly at this point on floor 2, I believe, recruit an exclusive IS 5-star, or does that appear only later on the later floors?
It can happen as early as floor 1. It can happen as early as the first combat that you beat in like the entire run. But I will say, like I mentioned, playing 4 to 5 hours a day, I saw those operators, those IS exclusive operators, an average of once a day, if at all. They are very, very scarce, and I would not be surprised if our players just do not manage to luck into that whatsoever.
Oh man, yeah. As we were talking about much earlier, the later and later this game goes, the less tiles there are, the more RNG becomes one of the most superior factors.
Okay,
Wayhazel. Oh my god, you're right.
Wayhazel opting to take the medic voucher, very wise choice there, but not lucking into seeing Touch. And again, I'm telling you, those operators, those exclusive operators are rare as heck.
Oh my god. I believe, is this Wayhazel's final combat operations?
No, I believe Wayhazel has... I actually don't know. I thought they might have at least one more, but Wayhazel clicking the shake button on their emulator and a little bit of stress. They're stressing.
Oh, no.
They're stressing.
Oh no. Wow, but Wayhazel right now, after so much time has passed with this secondary clear, remember how bad it looked at the very beginning. He is doing an amazing job keeping himself alive with 16 HP right now and a full squad of E2s. This is really, really good for him.
Indeed. Now, all that Wayhazel needs is, I mean, if Wayhazel gets that guard, then that's technically a numerical advantage, and then we don't have to go into sudden death. But if Wayhazel's luck does not pan out, then we're gonna be here a while, Viper.
That is a very good point. We are talking about a 12-12 potential, but honestly, the match finishes in about 3 minutes, everyone. In 3 minutes, if neither players reach a 12-12 stalemate, it'll actually be the first person to get the next tag, and then it's over.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a nail biter down to the wire, just because it's all down to RNG at this point, isn't it?
Yeah, it is all RNG. Wayhazel very much relying on the next few combat operations, if not this last one, to get exactly what they need, or else he will actually be in huge trouble compared to Disa.
I personally can't believe this. Where are the guard vouchers? Hello?
Wow, this is it. When you most need it, sometimes it does evade you like that. Disa right now still going for quite a long time.
No!
Oh,
What's going on with Wayhazel?
Oh no. Oh my god, his game is dying. His phone.
Oh, thank God. Oh, they're still alive.
Oh.
They're holding in there.
Imagine if
Don't
the
say it,
emulator
Viper. Don't jinx our
crashed.
player. No, Viper.
What
Shush.
if it crashed
Shush you.
and he failed?
Oh, Viper, if that happens, I'm blaming you.
Oh no, it's not gonna happen, surely.
All right, here we go. Wayhazel has beaten the map. Let's see what the recruits are.
Oh, moment of truth.
What will they get?
Clearing the stage, getting the hope. Okay, wait.
Yes, that is
Oh
it.
my
That's a guard. That's a
God.
guard. There we go. There it is. Now all he has to do is deploy all 8 of them. Kind of like Exodia, except there's 8.
Oh my
instead of-
god. Minutes counting down. Only a few seconds left until the match is over and sudden death begins. Can he actually claim this one before Disa gets maybe a lucky tile?
Oh, you're right. If Disa manages to somehow pull an exclusive operator out of the voucher that they get for this combat, it will technically end in Disa's favor, unless Wayhazel also manages to get the objective before the time runs out, in which case we will actually go down to sudden death, have 2 of each rarity, and oh man.
It is a run for time right now. Wayhazel. Oh, I've been notified. Sudden death has begun. First
All
person
right.
to get a tile will win this.
All right, Wayhazel, I'm not sure if you're aware that sudden death is on, but if you are aware, you better start deploying, man.
He needs to deploy.
All right,
2 are
that's
already
2.
down. The
That's
DP is
2.
counting.
And now Disa is just going to have to clench and pray that there is a tulip or someone in this recruit voucher before Wayhazel gets all 8 down. And that's 4.
Absolutely. Disa still has a chance clearing that stage with only 4 enemies remaining. This is gonna be very
Wayhazel
close.
isn't even deploying to facing the enemies. Wayhazel just wants these operators down and this match done. Not that I
Only
can blame
5
them.
more units, and he will get it.
That's
Disa,
6.
Disa, getting
2
out of the
more.
stage right now.
Looks like they need a caster and a...
Oh my god. Here we go. Disa.
Oh,
He sees
there
the
we go.
screen.
The
Wait.
caster. Is there a pith? There is no pith. It's Wayhazel.
Oh my
They can get this
god.
last operator down. That's 8. That's 8. It's over.
It is over.
Well, I mean,
Wayhazel.
unless Wayhazel doesn't declare, of course.
Oh wait. Oh, is he not declaring?
I don't know.
No.
Hold on.
Wait.
Wait, hold on. Medic, defender,
Wait,
supporter,
no, he has- yeah,
guard,
he has everything on.
vanguard. Okay, there we go. Just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to make sure. You never know.
Wow, Wayhazel. Even though it was looking so bad in the very beginning and in the game, at the very end, with patience, with time, takes it 12-11 over Disa in this semi-final match.
An amazing and very well played, and I don't think I've ever prayed so hard in my life to see a guard voucher before.
Wow, that was incredible. Looking at this board, only 2 remained. And those are really hard to get. You know, have two of each operator, each of two rarity, and then recruiting one of the exclusive IS operators. It looked like both players were struggling really hard to do that top one. And so Wayhazel takes it at the very end.
Listen, Viper, I'm not going to say that I'm disappointed at all because that was an amazing match. But a little part of me deep down really wanted us to have to sudden death have two of each rarity.
That would have been crazy. Imagine if Disa had recruited the exclusive 5-star operator before the sudden death began. Oh my god. That would have been rough.
Oh yes, that would have been that would have been really, really painful. But having two recruit RNGs going head-to-head with each other was, in fact, actually a pretty interesting way to have that match end. But, and that's only one of our two semifinal matches. We've got another round of this.
Yeah, that was really impressive. I really like how it was very much a progressive thing. Both players taking their times, going for different objectives, knowing that if they can go a little faster than their opponent, they have a chance to meet them at the very end, where RNG might have a bigger play into the match. So that was amazing. I hope everyone enjoyed that. That was crazy, and I'm very excited for the next match we have.
Me too. And hey, if you're one of the two players that are playing in the next round, I'm not telling you what to do, but I would have the fandom wiki open on your phone to the operator race tab, you know, just for science.
Yeah, do you know if this next pair is playing on the same board? I actually don't know.
I have not been informed of that, but I mean, if they are, then we're going to see some great stuff, and if they aren't, well, then we're going to be very surprised. Okay,
we are getting an update from the organizers that the second semifinals is using the same exact board.
Oh, lovely! Well,
so
I can tell you exactly.
To analyze.
I can tell you exactly what tile we're going to be seeing last, right, Viper?
Yeah, the same one. Imagine if it turns out the same. But I feel like now that both players have the next competitors, Jian versus what's his name again? Fersangu. That both players have spent a lot more time watching the match, studying up. They could have actually spent more time developing their own route. So this 10 minutes might not be too helpful for either players, but we shall see who takes the next match.
I mean, you say this, Viper, but there is one thing that neither of these players can plan for, and it's a freaking exclusive IS op showing up. Because I'm telling you, those guys, they just like don't want to show up ever.
Yeah,
they're probably just watching us right now, laughing.
So do you think a better way to get that is to go for as many combat operations as possible? Is that the best way to get vouchers?
Well, yes, and that is actually just a basic tenet of high difficulty IS running. You do want to, in fact, get as many combats as possible, just because you will gain experience. Experience grants you hope when you level up, as well as squad and deploy size, and you also have the chance to increase your maximum life points, as well as picking up vouchers, and potentially, if you get a flawless victory, the chance of having a relic drop, and then of course the chance of having Gopnik, the Duck, or the Crying Thief show up. So yes, there are just infinite amounts of advantages that you might get by taking combat over avoiding combat, and yet you can take as many combats as you want, and I bet we're still not going to see one of those guys show up.
Yeah, we'll have to see if either players can pull off a very lucky run and get that out of the way. We might actually see that, you know, luck will be very finicky in these kind of times, and we might see them fighting over for a completely different set of RNG based tiles. I would love to see that. That was a very close match. GG's everyone. GG's to the opposing player. Wait, my brain cells. Wayhazel or sorry, Disa. Wait, did Disa win or did Wayhazel win?
Wayhazel won. Wayhazel.
Congratulations, Wayhazel, to moving on to the grand finals. And hey, Disa, congratulations for making it to semifinals. You earned your spot as a top 4 player. And so hopefully we'll see y'all next time as well. But hey, Wayhazel, we'll see you very soon. Let us head into the match between Jian and Fersangu.
Hey, Viper, you want to know what? I just thought of something horrible.
Uh-oh, what did you think about?
Hey, so what if someone actually gets an exclusive operator and forgets to declare it?
No, there's no way. Given how much we focused on that, there's actually no way that would happen. But I mean,
if it does happen.
How OP are those operators? Like, would you actually want to recruit one of those into your squad?
Well, it depends on the operator. Now, Sharp is just a very, Sharp is a damage stick. Pith is notoriously bad. Oh, poor Pith. We don't talk about Pith, okay?
Is Pith the sniper?
She's a caster, and she's a bird, which means that technically if you're playing Bird Knights, yeah, she's legal. But at what cost? Anyways, Pith is... We don't talk about Pith, okay? Okay. Tulip is basically, I've heard her summarized as a mini Chen guard. She is respectable. Who's the other one? Stormeye, I've heard mixed reviews about. He's a sniper and he's okay, but the one that everyone writes home about is Touch. Touch is the medic, and her talent makes it that when she heals an operator, they gain, I believe, 2 SP if Touch is E2. And so everyone wants to be best friends with Touch.
Oh, wow. I did not know that. That sounds very powerful, especially for harder paths. I assume if ending 2 and 3 are a little more difficult than ending 1, that seems like an operator that you would want to have on your squad. And we'll see if they turn up in these runs. The thing is, we are going to see at least 2 to 3 runs per player. Surely, the luck wasn't there in the last match. It might actually be here. But what do you think both of these players should be thinking about, especially given they have the foresight of the banner and they saw the last match? What do you think they should come into this semifinal thinking?
I think that these players are going to need... I'm actually going to say something that I didn't think I would say. I think that at this point, having a set thing that you want to go for might actually be a bit more detrimental. I think what these players are going to have to do is sort of ride the tides. Like, does it look like they're going to be leaning more towards having 2 of each rarity? If their opponent starts leaning towards that, do they want to branch off and have 5-6 stars instead, or do they want to race to having 2 of each rarity? I think these players are going to have to be very, very cognizant that whatever squads they pick, they're going to have to try and take them as far as they can. Floor 4, floor 5. And so they're going to have to build very, very carefully. I feel like some of these full team squares might actually set our players back a lot more than they might initially think.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It was incredible to see both of the previous contestants, Wayhaven, what's his name again?
Wayhaven and Disa?
Wayhaven and Disa, yes, fighting over that high mortile. I do wonder if both players are going to do that again. That still, I believe, is one of the easier tiles to claim in the very beginning of the match. Do you think someone's going to go for it?
I would be surprised if they don't go for it. I mean, it is technically free real estate. Highmore is a very, very solid operator. She does count towards having 2 of each rarity and having all classes deployed at the same time. And if they are a Giga Chad and do not have her at potential 6, they can clear a stage with only operators that cost more than 20 DP in squad. But who hasn't leveled their Highmore? Please don't look at me. That's not me at all.
Yeah.
Hey, yours is full pot, right, Viper?
I don't even think I have her. How do you get her?
Viper.
I have a Highmore?
You get her from IS3, remember?
I've played IS3 like once or twice, and I've gotten to like floor 1.
When you get to level 25, on the progression ladder, you get high more, Viper?
I'm pretty sure I'm like level 1 right now.
Well, you heard it here first, guys. Viper can't do that tile, so hypothetically, if we were to have an exhibition match, I would win.
Wait, that's actually unfair. Wait, this is not fair to new players. What is that?
I mean, why wouldn't you level your high more unless you're a Niche Knights player? Please don't look at me.
Wow. Okay. Well, we'll see what they do. I would be excited to see both players trying to speedrun a floor 5 clear. I thought it was super interesting in that last match how after Disa decided to reset at floor 4-ish, that Wayfinder, what was his name again? Bro.
Wayhazel?
Wayhaven? What's this guy's name? I think it was Wayhazel, yes. Wayhazel, that Wayhazel did not decide to continue their floor 5 clear. And what ultimately ended up happening is they both went back. Wayhazel fighting a lot more, but Disa actually ending up clearing that floor 5 boss before Disa before Wayhazel. So I thought that was very cool. The fact that the pressure of your opponent made you to completely change your route. I think this is the kind of level at this point, this far into the tournament, that we're going to see both contestants try to lean off their competitors rather than their initial strategies.
I think that might be entirely possible as well, but it is also possible for the reverse to happen. It is possible that if you get too psyched out by what your enemy or your opponent is doing, that you might actually end up terminating a run that could have gone very well for yourself. So I wonder if we're going to see these players start playing some mind games with each other. Now, I believe that while we cannot hear them because we're simply spectating, they are allowed to speak to each other and to the moderators. So I don't know, maybe there's some psychic damage going on in those chats.
Yeah. One thing as well that I thought was very impressive was even at the very beginning, Disa was taking so many tiles ahead of Wayhazel. I felt like if I was in that kind of situation, I would be very mentally pressured and may even forget a lot of the tiles I was initially going for. So the fact that Wayhazel able to maintain their grit and push forward and still win on top at the very end with that clutch, that was very impressive to me. The kind of mental fortitude these players need at this stage in the game is immense.
Well, you say this, and yet we still had multiple instances in which tiles were slow to be called. We have the handed operator thing, and then we had the 10 squad size thing. So the pressure is still very, very much a present factor, and I think that because of the difficulty of claiming each of these tiles, if a player does actually forget and their opponent gets to take that tile instead, I think it's going to be a very, very cruel realization when that sets in. And that might actually do its own form of psychic damage to the player as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward into this match with 3 minutes remaining in the board phase. You know, everyone has been talking about Jian, the Chinese letters. I think this Chinese. Jian, the Osu player. That is the narrative that's being formed against Fersangu, who we saw fight in a very close match against Chthonic in the quarterfinals. I believe Jian... I actually hope that something happens and we see a dominating match here. You know, we saw a very close match last time. I would love to see what it would look like for a player to absolutely dominate with such a difficult board. That would be very interesting.
I must intervene here and say that Jian is not the Arknight or the Osu player, but that Jian beat Blue Alex, FG Alex, the one who is the Osu player with the high APM.
Yes.
And so that's why we have our eyes on them. We really want to see what kind of a player was capable of beating 60 clicks per second. Okay, not really.
That's what it was.
You know.
That's gonna be interesting. Jian, the underdog.
Are you sure?
Actually, all of them are underdogs. Everyone's an underdog right now.
Out of this matchup, I don't think Jian's the underdog. But hey, maybe
you think Fersangu's the underdog in this matchup?
I don't know. At this point, it could go either way.
Oh, I am excited. I believe, man, the first like 5 to 10 minutes was such a gray zone. I feel like a lot was going on, especially as both players in the previous match were fighting for that Highmore. I would love to see some very fast gaming, see the speed running come out in this match right now. Only 1 minute remaining until the match starts.
Yes, I believe that the Highmore tile is probably one of the first that is going to be claimed, and then we may see a bit of a rapid, again, just sort of a jostling for position. But once those early tiles have been claimed, I think we're in for a long, hard slog.
Oh man, this is going to be very good, Zai. With 30 seconds remaining, full board to be had. Both players, Fersangu and Jian. Wow, look at that. Both players level 65. Honestly, given how much people are playing, I guess everyone's level 65 at this point, right? Is that the max level?
That is the maximum level available for now. It will be increasing later on, but what I will say also is that Zafang has let us know that Jian went immediately from their graduation to the competitive stream and was awake until 8 a.m. their time. So can we get a hand in the chat for Jian and their graduation? Yeah,
Bro,
congratulations!
This man graduated and is now competing at the highest level of Arknights PvP right now for Fersangu versus Jian. The match has started.
Yes, let's see how these players shake out. It looks like Jian not going for Highmore at all, and Fersangu not going for Highmore at all!
Wait, what?
Did neither of these players level their Highmore?
Oh no, that! Or maybe they both thought the other player was gonna go for that and instead opted to go for their specific route.
This is awkward.
Oh
hey,
no.
Hey, Viper, you wanna like put a bet on this match if we're gonna see someone go all the way out to the main screen and level their high more?
There's no way, but even then, just grabbing that high more maybe later on and just having her in her squad is good enough to claim that stage, right? They claim that tile?
Yes, that is true. And of course, if you do pick up a casual Highmore, you can have her have all classes deployed at the same time or have two of each rarity. So yes, you do make a very strong point there. I just find it very, very interesting that compared to the start that we saw in the earlier match, we're Highmoreless. In fact, this is more of a battle of defenders. We've got Horn on Jian's screen and Penance on Fersangu's screen.
Wow, defenders right now. Horn, I remember yesterday you didn't mention that ranged gameplay in IS3 is incredibly important. We see Horn with that range damage, able to deal with enemies farther away from your back line. Do you think... Oh?
I'm sorry, I must interrupt here. Jian also about to claim clear a stage with only operators that cost more than 20 DP.
Oh, wait, you're right! Oh no! Having that clairvoyance early on, stage 1! He can claim that so early with just a Horn?
Apparently so. Well, I mean, if they remember to.
If they claim it, yes.
Yep, okay, hold on. All right, everyone hold on. All right, there we
yes.
go. All right,
There we go.
I love how we have to like just kind of wait for him and be like, okay, hold on. All right, now we're good.
All right, well, Fersangu right now going on to the next stage, picking their next operators as well, going for that Vanguard recruit. I wonder what they'll pick up here.
Oh, and Fersangu, on the other hand, going for clear a stage with only 2 classes in your squad. So now they're each at 1 apiece.
Ah, yes, that was very smart. Maybe they were looking at those particularly. It could have been bad if they overlapped in any particular way, fighting for the same tile. But yes, both going for tiles on their first stage. Fersangu picking up that Texas pick. I wonder why you would pick Texas.
Perhaps for have all classes deployed at the same time, or have 2 of each rarity. Actually, I don't know what race Penance is, but if she is also Lupo, aka the Wolf race, then Fersangu could also be working towards having a Lupo composition as well.
Interesting. Okay, that is very good. That's a very good observation. Maybe he is going for that early Lupo pick just in case. On Gen's screen, he does not pick up a... Is that a Totters?
Yes, that is Totter, the most recent addition to the Bird Knights roster. He can hit invisible things.
Oh.
Amazing.
But he's a forced... So what is special about him?
He is the only sniper that can hit invisible enemies without them coming out of cloak. So, you know, something that Sniper Knights has needed for a long while. And actually, let's see right now if Totter decides to target the Crying Thief. Here we go. Here's a nice little... Wait, there we go.
Oh my god, wait, you're right! Wait, that damage is incredible! What the heck?
And also, Totter gets, I believe, at E2, I do not remember his specific E1 stats, but Totter does get an increase to his attack stat when there are invisible enemies in range. And so, there you go, Totter clearing out the Crying Thief very, very excellently. And now you know why we like him.
Wow. Okay, very interesting. I actually never seen a Totter in play like that before. He's, oh my god,
look.
Jen going for that E2.
Going for the E2 on the Totter. I do not blame them. Totter in this game mode is apparently very, very solid. Hey, hold on. I see a lack of master rays there. That's a fake fan. I'm watching.
Jen does take the promote and operator without using hope in that encounter.
Yes, I believe if Jian is using the people-oriented squad, then that does reduce the cost of promoting an operator by 1 hope, and since Totter is a 4-star, then it's just a free promote. It is free real estate.
One thing to keep in mind as well is that as we move closer to floor 3, one of the contingent tiles is to have 4 or more E2s. So we'll see if either player can get that tile. It should be a very freebie for the first person that gets there.
Yes, but these players both have a significant amount of 3-stars in their squads, and as we all know, unfortunately, 3-stars cannot be E2'd. So it is going to come down again to seeing what units they want to pick up, and of course, seeing if they decide to go curve off to having 2 of each rarity, or perhaps curving off and having 5 6-stars, or just completely abandoning both of those objectives and staying true to their own course.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, I see on top, Fersangu did get that tactical equipment. I believe that is the healing one. I wonder what he's going to do with that.
Oh, that could possibly go into swap your tactical equipment, because if you remember, Oh no, Fersangu's already been to the floor 1 shop, haven't they?
He has,
Well, in that
yes.
case, if they do run into another equipment or another shop, then they can just easily swap it out because I mean, as far as tactical equipments go, unless you have no medics in the squad, I don't think I've ever seen anyone actually keep the first aid kit around. It's not really that good.
Oh, I guess we. Oh, wait, we'll see what happens within the next few. A shop can
look
appear
at that.
on. Oh.
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 Never mind.
Is that a
Jian had a hand?
Ah, the 32 cost hand. What was that?
Yeah. Oh, but it does look they pick up Hand of Spikes, and Hand of Spikes is a defender hand. Unfortunately, I am not sure if it applies to anyone in their current roster. And they have. Oh, that is unfair. That is unfair. Oh, that is no. I'm sorry, Viper. I need to comment on the relic combo that just popped up on Jian's screen. Glory Pack and Sui's Wrath. Glory Pack makes it so that when an operator, or in some cases tokens, disappear or like die, has to be die. When they die off the screen, they stun everything in the adjacent 4 tiles for 6 seconds. And that sounds pretty solid on its own, right? But Sui's Wrath makes it so that when you deploy an operator or a token, you get 3,000 arts damage in the surrounding around that token or operator. So basically, if you get fast redeploys, you can now infinitely arts and stun spam everything to death. That is so broken!
Wait, what? What?
Yeah.
Wait, Texas Ultra's gonna be broken then? It's just already broken.
Look, see, there you go, Sui's Wrath. Oh, that's
Holy.
busted. That's busted.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no.
So at this point, I feel like that gives a big advantage to Jian because now, due to how much damage he can output, he doesn't have to worry about having a very well put together squad. He can focus more on the objectives, right?
Oh god, this is a travesty. You are absolutely correct, Viper. We are going to see, I think, some very, very odd gameplay out of Jian just because that relic pack is going to allow so much BS to get played. And I feel like I just want to mention as well, I would like to note that both of these players currently have a boon, that bright blue sort of like rectangle on their lower UI bar. They both have a blessing on their squads, so they are going to be getting away with a lot more stuff than they might normally otherwise like attempt, just because they have those buffs buffing their squads.
Oh my god.
Oh, look, Fersangu picking up the Hand of Flowing Water. And that will apply to therapists, bards, and phalanx casters, but I'm gonna be real with you. No one picks those, right? Like, is there...
I thought the Whisperain was pretty good, right? And she's a therapist.
She is, but as you can see, Fersangu opted for Calcid instead. Oh, and look, Fersangu is attempting to spend 12 or more ingots in a downtime recreation.
Oh? Are they going to do it? I believe they are going to go for that right now. They have just enough.
One more. And it also looks like, because of this downtime recreation, Fersangu has also been able to pick up have 5 or more objective shield, since you can get objective shields as part of that gamble. So, congratulations, a very, very well played downtime recreation for Fersangu. And it does look like Fersangu did actually somehow get a hand and an operator of its listed branches.
Oh, okay, I guess we did miss that just barely. But even though we were talking about how lucky Jian was, Fersangu now taking the lead 5-2 in this early game right now. Both players on to floor 3 very soon, I think.
Yes, it looks like they will be heading onto floor 3, and then we're going to start seeing some of those longer-term objectives coming into play. Also, it looks like Hand of Flowing Water is actually for casters, of which Stewart actually qualifies. So, congrats, Stewart.
Wow. Well, in that case, I wonder what Fersangu's next goal will be right here. He has the operators. They both are using Texas Alter, primed for success at this point.
Yes, both of them are going to, since both of them have Texas Alter, both of them can go for land 3 hovering enemies in one stage, so it is just going to come down to who gets a stage with hovering enemies first. That's just going to be a matter of luck. Fersangu also in very strong position to have swap your tactical equipment, just because Fersangu has one and Jian does not right now. And if you'll excuse me, I'm going to start counting Lupos.
Oh yeah, very good observation right there. I think that Jian, if we remember earlier, was trying to get some loopholes. No, actually, sorry, Fersangu with that Texas pick. Now that Texas Alter is already there, as well as Penance, do they have almost enough? I think they only need maybe one more.
They have 3 Lupos. They have Penance, Texas, and Texas Alter, whereas Jian only has Texas Alter and Horn.
Oh, right. So I guess Fersangu looking to pick that one up as soon as possible if the correct recruitment drops. Jian may not be going for that one instead and focusing on something else. Right now, Jian just entering floor 3. It looks like he did not claim the enter floor 3 with 4 or more E2s.
Yes, Jian was unable to do so, but Fersangu has just picked up a Highmore, and as we know, Highmore only has to be in the squad in order to count for that objective, and so Fersangu in very, very strong position to start taking more tiles. This seems absolutely dominant from Fersangu's side.
Wow, and Fersangu, how many operators is that? He's very close to the reach 10 squad size as well, isn't he?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, only one more.
Oh
but
my God.
I do not think Fersangu is going to be getting another squad size upgrade from leveling up alone, so perhaps this might come down to relics. More importantly, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to start counting classes.
Wow, with so many operators, I wonder at what point did Jian seem to have fallen behind? He has maybe two or so less operators. He's opted to take a feeder somehow. Feeder. Oh, I think he is trying to get one of every class. No, that's Texas Alter. Why would you go for a feeder? Maybe in that case, it was
two
a
of each
free
rarity.
operator?
2 of each rarity, perhaps.
2 of each rarity. Oh yeah.
Fersangu is missing 1 class. I just can't tell what it is because everything's moving around a little too quickly for me.
I guess we'll have to see once it does come due. Right now, Fersangu dealing with this stage with a ton of fish right now. About to clear to see if it's possible to get one more squad size increase to get that clear.
Actually, no, it does Fersangu. Yes, it does actually look like Fersangu has the capacity to have all classes deployed at the same time. They're just suffering from some terminal die.
Oh, I think you are right. Yeah, I think. Wait, do they have all 8? I believe they do have all 8 squad.
It does look like it. It does look like it.
Okay, maybe he'll find the opportunity soon. If he's watching Jen's screen, he sees that Jen does not have the opportunity to do that yet. So maybe he's taking his time and trying to just survive.
I genuinely don't know what Jian's counterplay would be because, I mean, let's take a look at the tiles that Fersangu is primed to take. 4 operators of each race, all classes deployed at the same time. Possibly. Oh dear. Oh yes, if Fersangu just took 30 or more max hope, I just noticed that as well. So Fersangu also noticing and having taken that as well. Fersangu also in prime position to swap tactical equipment, and also in prime position for reach 10 squad size. So that is, and of course, and clear 3 stages with Highmore. So that is 5 tiles. 5 tiles!
Oh my God!
Fersangu is primed to take, and it looks like they might be able to get away with deploying 8 of the same class in this stage just because it is so long.
Oh no, Jen! Despite having such a powerful combination of relics, we're gonna have to see if they can actually claw it back in the next few minutes, or else it looks like Fersangu has such a strong start in such a format. Having such a strong start, yes, a comeback is possible, but it's incredibly difficult to do.
Yes, and Fersangu now taking a somewhat sizable lead. Since Fersangu is on that floor 3 boss and Jian is still working their way through floor 3, unless something horrible happens, it does look like Fersangu is possibly going to have the right to take the first crack at the boss.
Oh man, this is going to be a very crucial moment for Jian. He has to find a way to weave in a lot of these challenges that he does not have access to at this current moment. I do wonder what he's going for. It seems like he is trying to compete with Fersangu on some of them, such as recruiting the same races, such as having multiple 6 stars. But how is he going to catch up at this point? We don't really know.
Hold on a second. I'm having a bit of a moment here. Oh wait, no, that's Thermax. I didn't see Thermax camping down on the bottom. It looks like Jian is actually in position to clear a stage with at least 4 male operators. There's Thermax, Totter, Stewart, and Ansel. And I was actually about to ask if the last knight is considered male, but then I saw Thermax.
Oh, really? Is he gonna clear that one? We'll see if he
Yes.
claims it right here. If he's aware if that was on purpose. Maybe it was. It does look
Let's
like
see.
Fersangu does not have any male operators except for Thermex. No,
Yes,
he doesn't
and
have
there,
Thermex.
there goes Jian claiming that. But Jian is still very, very much behind. 3 tiles behind, in fact. And Fersangu, of course, in position. Oh, yes, and there goes Fersangu claiming have all classes deployed at the same time.
Yes, this is looking very good for Fersangu at this point in time. He will be able to clear the Highmore challenge very soon as well.
Yes,
It's a matter
this is
of
the
time.
second of 3 battles. And might I add as well that, hey, we still haven't gotten recruit an exclusive IS 5-star operator.
Oh, yeah. Wait, maybe that one might be one of those that lasts until the very end. We'll have to see. Fersangu also primed right now to swap their tactical equipment, given they have the health pack. They also have the ability to visit 2 safe houses, right? They're a little farther along. They might have access to that as they have clairvoyance to the 4th floor.
Yes, but they are going to need to, again, consciously keep track of their own safe houses counts and make those calls. More importantly, Viper, I have a question I'd like to ask you.
Yes.
I don't see this match going all the way to sudden death, but hypothetically, if it did, what would you rather have to watch? Would you rather have to watch someone try and get 2 of each rarity, which is basically a floor 5 run, or would you rather have to wait until one of these guys gets a 5-star operator?
Oh, jeez. I would not want to wait for that 5-star operator, but do you think Oh, reach
Fersangu?
squad size of 10. Oh
Yep.
my god.
There
He
we
took
go.
it. Oh my god, another one? He grabs recruit 4 operators of the same race. I believe he did get his Lupo. Who finished the squad for
Who
him?
was the last one? Oh,
Horn.
Fersangu picked up Horn. Yep.
Ah,
and
yes.
look at this right here. Those flapjacks in the lower corner. Those are in fact the hovering manta rays. And because Fersangu got to floor 4 first, Fersangu gets the first crack at landing 3 hovering enemies in one stage.
Wow, we really do get the speed run advantage showing up in this match right now for Fersangu, leading right now with a whopping 9 points to 4 points over his opponent, Jian.
And Fersangu in position to get more, by the way, because here we go. We've got land 3 hovering enemies. If there is a tactical equipment that drops, we have swap your tactical equipment. This is the last stage that requires Highmore, so that is a definite take.
Oh my god.
I don't even think this is going to get to floor 5, if I'm going to be honest. I think this is going to be over right freaking now. You know, if Fersangu remembers to drop the manta rays.
We'll see if he does remember to drop them very shortly, but you know.
Oh no! Fersangu's running Texas Ultra Skill too.
Which
means that
you're
Texas-
right.
Which means that Texas Normal is the one that's going to have to drop the rays. And
Oh, no.
she's dead!
Wait, this is a huge misplay right now. Him realizing that he does not have skill 3 on the Texas.
Oh no. I mean, I feel like Fersangu can still get another stage with flapjacks on it, but... Oh,
Wait, but
and
is it
here-
possible? Him waiting for that Texas at the very last moment right now? Still 15
No.
seconds to go and 3 on the screen.
Oh, look. Sending out Monster because Monster's explosion does stun when Monster dies, except Kelsit's kind of healing Monster. Oh, and Texas is
Wait.
back, trying to keep Texas alive at any cost. Fersangu only needs to hit 2 of these flapjacks, so if Texas can stay alive...
Oh,
no! One of them
No, the
escaping! One of them
misplay!
escaping! And I must say right now, Jian now in position to take the flapjack tile because there are at least 3 flapjacks on the stage that Jian is in, but there are less flapjacks on Jian's stage than there are in Fersangu's stage. So the margin for error from Jian can be absolutely minimal.
Wow. Unexpected mistake by Fersangu, but nonetheless...
We're actually hearing it from the mods. It does look like Fersangu got 3.
Oh, maybe we just we just did not catch it at the very beginning then.
I saw Texas hit 1. I'm not sure if I saw it the second, but if the mods saw it, then the mods saw it.
All right, recorrection. It does seem like the mods have seen it. It did happen. That is 3 seeing from the chat as well that, 3 wore down. So, hey, he does take the tile.
And now how many does Fersangu need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Only 2 more. Because Fersangu also picked up that Highmore tile. Let's see what else they can go for.
Wow. At the very beginning of the match, I know I talked about seeing what it would look like if there was a very dominant performance by one of the players, but this is not what I expected.
Well, I think actually this might. I can see this going in for Sangu's favor, but I will say that the last tiles that Fersangu can take are going to be very RNG dependent. Now, we all know that Fersangu is in prime position for swap your tactical equipment because Fersangu has a medkit and Jian has nothing. So I think that is definitely going to Fersangu if Fersangu can pick up another tactical equipment on the road. Likewise, Fersangu has 4 6-stars right now and only needs 1 more to take that one. But look at the rest. Have all breakable rubble in a stage be broken? I don't think you're going to be seeing that. Recruit an exclusive operator. That's going to be very hard, obviously. For Sangu's team, definitely not going for having 2 of each rarity. They're past floor 3, so that cannot be done. Bomb tails, that is a floor. Actually, they could still get that this floor, but I think the chances of that are still pretty slim. So it might just come down to the boss. So getting the 5 6-stars and beating the boss, or having the tactical equipment. I think those are the 3 tiles which Fersangu is going to need to play towards. And Jian, I don't think is in position to stop Fersangu from taking any of them. So at this point, Jian is just going to have to fight as hard as they can to take more tiles.
Yeah, at this point in time, given that Fersangu is only 2 tiles away, if you were Jian, what would you do? Do you have to find a way to counter your opponent on the easier tiles for them to get, or do you just try to keep going with your flow, just trying to work as fast as possible, praying that RNG is on your side?
If I were Jian, I think I'd curl up in a ball and cry right now.
Well, we shall have to see.
I genuinely don't know. Fersangu seems to have a tremendous lead in everything. A lead in tiles. Oh, look, is that... Oh, look, they got Wiener, and that is 5 6-stars, meaning that Fersangu only needs 1 more tile. So at this point, all they need to do is just beat the freaking boss.
No way! So now it has been secured for Fersangu on their way to floor 5 to defeat that boss. It is now a time trial for Jian. So much time still remaining for this match. We're only about 20 or so minutes in. This is ridiculous.
I mean, I don't even know if we're going to see a floor 5 boss. Is there something that Fersangu can pick up that is reasonable?
Oh man, I don't know.
It's
Jian looking like is on a lifeline.
No. Now, Viper, do you remember what was in the road of Fersangu's?
Oh no, again, he gets so lucky. He has the mantis.
The mantis?
The mantis? The flying mantis?
What? No. That tile was already taken. I'm saying that Fersangu has a safe house coming up.
Oh.
Fersangu has a safe house coming up?
Oh. Yeah, I definitely knew that. That's what I was talking about. But yeah.
Fersangu's got a safe house coming up.
Wait, so it's just Jover. It's Jover even earlier than it's Jover?
I mean, unless Fersangu wants to throw here.
There's no way. 10 HP. This man is cracked out. He has practiced. He was prepared. He probably took every single moment he could in that first match to study up on the board, and this is paying off immensely. What percentage of this do you think is attributed to just pure RNG versus just skill?
I feel like some of the early tile takes were RNG because obviously there's no way that you can control getting a downtime recreation, and there's no way that you can control getting objective shields out of that downtime recreation. That pair of tiles was just very, very favorable for Fersangu, but at the same time, you cannot deny that there has to be a certain amount of skill and foresight in planning out everything for the combat-related things, the high more, the squad size, landing the enemies, having max hope, and at that point, speed is the element that was on Fersangu's side, because since Jian was behind, they had less of a chance to catch up there, and now, as we can see, Fersangu is completely running away with it.
Wow. Fersangu decided to leak the last 2 enemies, actually just 1 enemy, and he heads forward. He only has to grab that safe house to secure the win here. Jian still struggling to claim even 1 more tile in the last 10 minutes.
Safe house check, safe house check. Is it coming up?
And we shall see. Selecting another operator, going for that Chalter. Oh, you're right, it's the safe house.
And Jian ran into a regional commission, but I think it's too late. Jian taking the complete a hard task, attempting to do that, but was that the second safe house or no?
Seems like he's not stopping to claim it. So maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe
How irregular.
Wow, I thought safe houses were pretty... do they appear on every single floor, or is it just more of a, like a floor 4 or floor 5 thing?
I most commonly run into them on floor 2 and 3, and then of course, honestly, they're just not that common on floor 1. So, I guess Fersangu just didn't visit 2. I guess that was his first one. So, no, it looks like this match is going to keep on going.
Well, we'll have to see. Fersangu right now on to the final floor of IS3. I believe first ending. It's just a matter of time. Jian right now trying to just pick up whatever pace they can, but it doesn't look like anything is happening for them. What can they even do at this point? They have the hard task. What else?
Well, I feel like Jian is in some significant danger here because Jian is on floor 5, you see, and the task I believe the task that they picked up was do the next 4 combats with enemies having plus 30% attack and HP. You can see how that might be a little bit of an issue, yes.
Oh my god, just the opportunity he had, despite that relic combo, his text is also dealing an immense damage right now. He could have had such a potential on this board.
Yes, you are right. The Glory Pack and Sui's Wrath combo plus Texas Altar is going to work very, very well in Jian's favor, even with that regional commission causing some difficulty. But again, at this point, there's not a lot of stuff that you can really pick up on floor 5. It might be a race to defeat the floor 5 boss, honestly, but aside from that, if Fersangu gets lucky and swaps the tactical equipment, if one of them shows up for Fersangu, I think that might be it. Likewise, anything else is going to... Oh no! Would you look at Fersangu?
Oh, what is he doing?
Hey, what's missing at the top of the screen, Viper?
What?
There were rocks there.
Wait, what? It's over?
Now there aren't.
No!
And Fersangu doesn't even have to beat the stage, just have all the rocks broken. And that's GG.
Oh my god! The luck gods have shined on Fersangu in combination with skill. He absolutely trucked Jian in the semi-final match, and he takes it 13-4. One of the biggest landslide, if not the biggest landslide win of this entire tournament.
Not something I expected to see in the semifinals, but the RNG and the momentum on Fersangu's side, too powerful to be stopped.
Oh my god. Did you expect that kind of sweep, Sai?
I personally did not. With how tight the first semifinals match was, I was expecting another sort of, like, to the very last moment, race to the end, and yet, here we have a very dominant performance from Fersangu, but, hey, I still feel like I should mention, we still haven't seen an exclusive IS 5-star operator!
That one is way too hard to get, but wow, big congratulations to Fersangu from the depths of hell. It just all of a sudden makes it all the way through from top 32 to the grand finals to meet Wayhazel. Is it Wayhazel? Wait.
It's either Wayhazel or
Wayhazel.
I think it's Wayhazel.
This is gonna be a great match. I can already tell. But that was very incredible. I thought Fersangu did an amazing job. I wonder how much of that was attributed to good luck versus just pure skill. But congratulations to Fersangu, and hey, Jian, GG's. It was a great run all the way to semis, and we wish you best of luck next time you continue to compete in these.
Yes, GG to both players. A very, very skillful display from both of you. But oh my god, Fersangu with that RNG. Whoo!
I felt like he just steamrolled. The confidence was there. He got the first few tiles. He picked up the pace. Even though Jian was a little ahead on the map progression, Fersangu just, all the stars aligned. He had enough operators. He fulfilled the long-term challenges. He also just met the correct RNG ones to push him even more ahead before Jian could even have a chance to encounter those kind of challenges. So that was just a mix of masterful skill and just incredible luck.
Yes, I agree, and oh man. Well, I must say that when we received, or when we were told about the boards that we would be seeing today from our organizers, they told us that this is the one that would be the fun one. And I must say, given the challenges that were on this board, I agree that it was definitely fun, even if some of them are a little hard.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect from the final board. I thought this board was already pretty challenging. There were some that were very, Luck Inducive, so, you know, that recruit exclusive 5-star operator. We still haven't seen that. 2 matches and how many runs of IS? And we didn't even see that. But it's crazy.
We did see Tobero pick up Tulip yesterday, but I mean, that was yesterday.
Tobero. What happened to that man's?
I think he got steamrolled in the top 16, but yes, I would just like to mention that to say that's how rare seeing one of those operators is. I mean, we are like, what, 6 hours into live streaming this event, and we've only seen, what, 1 Tulip?
Yeah, I guess we'll see if that does reappear in the final board, but I'm excited to see what the organizers have cooked up. This is already such a high level of challenge. You know, at this point, these players, they're speedrunning. This is a speedrun competition, but because there's so many restrictions now, it's about incredibly high intelligence speedrunning. It's about how fast can you read, how fast can you synthesize the information so that you can get to that final floor as fast as possible with the most tiles cleared. That is such a hard task. There's a lot of pressure on these 2 players.
Indeed, especially with the next board that's going to be coming up, but I think it's a little too early to discuss what the theme of the finals board is. So let's see. Are we gonna stall now, Viper? Or?
Oh yes. So in this moment in time, we are gonna give both players some time to rest. You know, just then Fersangu, yes, came out a very quick victory over Jian, but we're gonna give them about 5 to 10 minutes to rest up in their preparation for their match against Wayhazel in the grand finals. And instead, we're gonna go take a look at some common questions that we can discuss, and, you know, maybe kind of pose more of like an analyst test real quick with chat and see what chat thinks as well.
Oh boy.
All right, real quick, just before that, let's take a look at the finalized bracket while everything is figured out now.
All right, here we are. Hey, it is Wayhazel.
Oh man, look at that, guys. 2 days of immense competition. Even before that, an entire week and a half of the qualifying phase, and we now arrive at our top 2 doctors, Wayhazel and Fersangu, clawing through all of the challenges. They are finally here in the final match for the grand prize, sponsored by Arknights EN themselves. This is it. Who will be crowned the best player in this community?
Indeed, and it looks like between Wayhazel and Fersangu, I mean, who are you leaning towards, Viper? Who do you think is going to come out
Oh man,
on
that's
top?
a very drama-inducive question, isn't it? And you know, maybe we'll ask chat in a bit, but for me in particular, Fersangu's run, that was incredible. I felt like even though it seemed like luck was on his side, the sheer amount of skill, the non-hesitancy to go through that entire run and clear the entire 13 tiles in one run without a reset, that was just crazy. What about you?
I honestly agree. I think Fersangu had a very, very strong performance, both in terms of RNG and its skill, but that's with RNG on their side. So what if RNG turns against them? Or what if Wayhazel gets a slightly better RNG appearance? How is that going to shake things out?
Absolutely. One thing, so we have seen very close matches on this PvP tournament, but we haven't seen yet an opportunity for a comeback come to life. We haven't seen that happen. Obviously, that's a lot to ask for, but we will see if that does occur in the finals. The first question I'd like to pose to you, and of course our audience, is which operators do you think are the best for each of the endings?
So are you like asking me from like a personal perspective or an objective perspective,
Okay,
or like my niche night
take
perspective?
yourself out of your bird brain.
Hey!
What do you mean?
Listen, I will have you know that while Texas Ultra, with her S3 stun that does not get interrupted, even though she's frozen, and that like drops every second so it breaks through ASPD reductions for Highmore Boss 1, I will have you know that even though Texas Ultra is objectively a very good unit for the ending, Mr. Nothing is also very good, because Mr. Nothing's talent is that if he does not attack for 3 seconds, then his next attack will stun the enemy for 5 seconds, and therefore you can permanently stall bosses 1 and 2 of this game mode.
So how come we haven't seen a single Mr. Nothing come out in this entire tournament?
Because they don't want to bring him. We're not
then
allowed
how
to
is
show.
he good?
It's because we're not allowed to show Cox on screen, Viper.
Okay, well, here's my opinion. there's only one set of operators that is good for every ending, and that's the Brute Force Squad. Your Chalter, Surtur, NTR, Texalter, Silver Ash, Maweener. What else? Who needs any strategy when they could just dump all those amazing operators that Arknights put out in the past few years? Like, bro, what else do you need?
Oh yeah, Viper, if Surtur is so good, then why haven't we seen her yet?
Okay, yeah,
We've
wait,
only seen her, like,
why?
once.
Where's the Surtur?
Yeah, touche.
Oh
Hey,
my
at least
God.
my man's got an excuse. He's off celebrating Pride Month. What's your excuse, Viper?
Okay, yeah, actually, that's a very good point. Why do you think Surtur has not been used yet? It actually makes no sense to me.
Well, let's think about it this way. Remember the IS-2 enemies? The threats were like the doll casters that cause sanity damage, and like the guys who hit you with the cane that cause sanity damage.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
they're ground units, right? But in this game mode, the threat is a flying manta ray that shoots its balls at you, right? And then also a crab that throws balls at you. Why is everything balls in this event? Jesus. Anyways, like, what I'm trying to say is that Surtur, being a ground unit that hits ground units from far out, is very, very ill-matched against these ranged things that refuse to come to you and make you have to go after them.
I guess that makes sense.
That and also Texas Alter exists now.
Oh, true. I would accept that explanation. Why have two brute force expertise when you can just have Texas Alter?
Excuse me, Viper. You just said that you should just bring the entire brute force squad with "and" in that sentence.
Yes. You know, okay. The thing is, I do believe in that. Except I tried that on stream, and I couldn't even get past floor 1. So, no. Anyways, okay. Next question. We'll move on. Next question. What changes do you like going from IS-2 to IS-3? Unfortunately, I haven't played enough, but I'd love to ask you, Zai. And of course, to the chat as well, what do y'all think?
Okay. Let me just like preface this by saying that when I was aware of IS-3 on the CN, I was aware that the CN reception was that a lot of people liked the changes, but it was a little more RNG. But like, there were some mitigating factors. I don't remember the initial impression. Me personally, I like IS-3. I'm just not sure if I like all of the changes. And I believe I mentioned this on one of our earlier streams with the Enlightenment and the Curse mechanic. I personally do not like that you do not interact with Enlightenments at all as you move up through higher surging. I understand why they don't let you, but I personally just think it's kind of a waste to have that element in the game and then not allow you to interact with it at all at the higher difficulties. But that's just me. On the other hand, what I do like is that the progression tree in the, well, okay, you wouldn't know, Viper, but like in the starting menu, you can go through a progression tree. You've done it for IS-2, right? Where you could level up and get like more starting attack, more starting ingots. You remember, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay, Viper. Well, I do like that the starting tree is a little more involved this time, and it does give you a little bit more benefit, so I like that the starting tree has changed, and personally, I like that the maps in floors 1 and 2 are faster than the maps in IS-2's floors 1 and 2, because if you're going to be rerunning high difficulty, you're going to be stuck on floor 1 and 2 a lot, so I really do appreciate that they made the starting maps faster, just so I don't have to sit there 15 minutes every time I want to try and beat floor 3, but hey, that's just me.
Wow, I did not know that there was such a big difference between the two ISs, but hey, I'm glad that you do have some great opinions there. Hopefully people in chat were able to voice theirs as well. I did see some coming through, and hopefully y'all also understood what Zai was talking about, because yeah, definitely. Anyways, next question. What is the most ridiculous tile in this tournament? Oh my, we both know this, right?
What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say?
The most ridiculous one right now is that exclusive 5-star tile. That is ridiculous. That is so RNG. There ain't no way skill is involved in that one.
I don't know. I think the most ridiculous tile in this entire tournament is this one with like this moving human guy that's got like a red plushie in the background. That's a pretty weird tile.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's not on the bingo board.
Wow. Well, you know what? I do see some people in chat during the actual cast clowning on my casting, but why? I think what you guys don't understand is that I am the personification of an EN Arknights doctor. We read, don't we? Right? So what's wrong with my casting? How is that ridiculous? Anyways.
But to be more serious, I think that I can kind of agree with you. I mean, I don't think it's ridiculous. I just think that in terms of hardest tile to get in this entire tournament, that's definitely got to be one of them.
Yeah. Looking at the other ones, I feel like a lot of them, they're pretty good. Some of them were like somewhat RNG focused, but in a way, it's not RNG because it's the first person to explore as many routes as possible and enable themselves to be in the position to grab those specific tiles. So, yeah. I mean, beyond that, I think we're about to see more ridiculous tiles as we enter the grand finals, the final hidden board. I'm very excited to see what that's going to hold.
Would this be a good time to talk about the final board theme, I suppose?
Oh, you have that information?
I do.
Okay. Go ahead, feel free.
So, if the last board for the semifinals, the last two matches we saw was Hope and Recruiting, and that played very much into composing your teams around certain operators or towards certain quests, here is the theme for our final match. And I've been told from our board creators that it is hell on earth. The theme of our final board is curses.
What? Wait,
curses.
Isn't that like a mechanic in the game, like the die rolling mechanic?
Oh yes, but there's more. There are cursed collectibles that can do things such as minus 15 starting SP, plus 25% to all enemy HP, and I don't know if the mod team went this far, but I must say that there is actually a map in this game called Chilling Curse. Can you guess what boss that might be, Pfeiffer?
Yes, Frost Nova.
Well, Frost Nova isn't in IS, but do you know who is?
Yeah, Mandragora.
No. Walmart Frost Nova. From IS1?
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if the mods put Walmart Frost Nova in, but if they did, oh boy.
Yes, definitely. Well, I hope you guys are excited for that final board, but before that, we do have one final question for the audience, and this one is to stir up some drama, and it is, never mind, the slide is gone. But I will just say it here. Who do y'all think is going to win this? The final match between Fersangu and Wayhazel.
Based on their performances, I have to say, Fersangu, very impressive. But again, Fersangu did have RNG on his side, so all I can say is, who freaking knows?
I guess we'll see very soon. I think the organizers are about ready. Both players are rested up. And how about we begin? Everyone, welcome to the final match, the grand finals of the Bingo Lockout tournament hosted by Lungmen Dragons and sponsored by Arknights EN. This is the match between Wayhazel and... what's the name again? I forget. Oh, Fersangu, yes. Fersangu. Here we go.
All right. Now, of course, we cannot see what the board is yet, but the theme of this board is curses, and it will be populated soon. The players will be seeing it for the first time, and then they will have 10 minutes. And here we go. The board has been populated. Let's see. Oh, this is nasty. This is nasty.
Oh my god, the sheer amount of words on the screen. Holy moly. Let's see. Starting from the top. Clear a stage with only one allied unit on the field at all times. What?
Hey, Viper, how do you feel like playing some 1P Relay?
That's ridiculous. Okay, that's like a step down from one tile relay, right? But I guess it could be possible, especially with units like Texas Alter.
Hey, wait a second. Spell a 5-letter word with the first letters of names of 5 adjacent operators? That's so specific. But hey, I guess you could spell VIFER.
What?
Row 4, column 4.
Row 4, column 4. Wait, what? That sounds ridiculous.
How would I do that? Vigna.
Oh my god, who thought about this title? What is that?
Who's an operator that starts with I? Vigna, Indigo, Fiametta.
Wow.
Erato. I don't know an operator who starts with R.
I feel like the biggest challenge going into this is just going, selecting a batch and just going with the flow and seeing what's possible. Because some of these seem really ridiculous. Spell 5-letter word? Like, how are you gonna pre-plan that?
Oh no, wait. Hey, Viper, have at least 4 operators stunned at once. You want to know who can do that?
Huh?
Conviction!
No.
Remember Goody stunned his entire team during the show match?
What?
Conviction skill 2 has a 50-50 effect. The one 50-50 effect is that they do arts damage. The other 50-50 effect is that they stun everyone in their range.
Oh my god. Why? So you're telling me that that's the only operator that can stun all 4 operators?
I wouldn't be surprised if there's more ways to do it. It's just, that's the easiest way, yeah!
Oh my god. Yeah, there aren't too many. So I know that there's the archers, right? On some of the stages that can stun enemies, stun operators. But for them to be stunned at the same time, this does very much lend towards the conviction placement. But we'll have to see if that actually does come into play. What else is here on this board? Get a King's Relic. What is a King's Relic?
A King's Relic is a relic that only takes effect when you have 1 HP out of your entire health bar. Now, I must note that this only worked in IS-2 if you had 1 HP seal whatsoever. But in IS-3, this operates only on your HP count, not using shield HP. So, hypothetically, if you have 1 HP and 10 shield HP for a total of 11, the King's Relic will still take effect, even though the game thinks you have 11 HP, because in actuality, you only have 1 HP and the rest are all shields. Yes, that is complicated, but basically, King's Relics only take effect if you have 1 HP.
Interesting. That seems like a pretty hard relic to get. That seems very RNG inducive. We'll have to see if that's possible. That's going to be as rare as getting a 5-star unique operator, the exclusive operators to IS. Wow, this seems like a board that maybe we're not going to see our players get to 13. Do you think it's possible to get 13 tiles on this board?
I think there are enough tiles that 13 can be taken. Whether they will be taken by the same people, though, or by the same person for a 13 to X sweep is an entirely different story. Now, Viper, can I direct you to column 1, tile 3?
Column 1, tile 3. What is that?
Steal from cannot and survive.
Who's cannot?
The shopkeep.
What? You can steal from a shopkeeper?
Oh, yes. Haven't you heard of capitalism?
What? What do you mean survive? Is that it's gonna be like a hard stage or something?
Well, if you put your grubby hands on Cannot's wares a little too much, he's gonna take that real personally. Now, at that point, you can either back off and rethink your life choices, or you can go toe-to-toe with him. And if you do, you enter a combat. Cannot is going to throw a bunch of elite enemies at you, and you will have to survive. Now, if you survive, you get to loot everything that was in his shop. But if you beat Cannot, he does not come back, and all future shops you find will be empty. So, while it does seem prudent that you could simply challenge Cannot and beat him on floor 1, that means all future shops in your path will be empty.
Oh my god, wait, that is so interesting. It sets up the stage for a possibility for both players to compete for that. Will you steal first and hurt your future chances to clear that stage successfully? Or would you rather do that later? But then, of course, risk the opportunity of your opponent taking that early. So that's going to be very interesting to see what kind of dynamic comes out between these two competitors. Wow.
Or,
this is gonna be
alternatively, you could steal from Cannot, survive, and then reset the run. But that would put you behind your opponent.
Yeah. Let's look at our center tile right here. Clear 4-5 under 50 light? Oh,
But
man.
not
How do you
0.
measure that?
If you click on the top middle of your screen in IS3, it will show you how many light you have. And of course, you lose light by leaking and by taking combats while under half of your HP. Now, this isn't necessarily hard. I think personally, a lot of my Surging 15 runs would probably have met this criteria, but that does mean that the players are going to have to be mindful of what they are or are not leaking, as well as managing that light.
Oh my god, that sounds ridiculously difficult. We'll see who can actually get that cleared. Oh my god, I almost feel like given this many words, this many challenges, you have to go and maybe looking at 3 or 4 at a time. No way can we see like a miracle run like Fersangu's from last one, being able to clear everything in one run, right?
I don't think so, and I must note that some of these are very, very context dependent. Now, cure a curse. If I am correct, there are only three ways I know of which to do it. Number one, if you do a certain difficulty emergency dispatch, I believe it is a if you do a certain difficulty tulip regional commission, and I believe it is the hard difficulty, one of your options will be to cure the curse from any one operator. That is option number one. Number two is that if you have an emergency dispatch where you send an operator off and they only come back at the end of they come back once you go to the next floor, sending an operator off will E2 them if they are not already E2'd, and it will also remove the curse from them. But if you do not have either of those options, your final option is that you must encounter a rare event and trade 3 of your life points for Irene's Lantern, and at that point you will also be cured.
Oh my god, that sounds incredibly specific. We're gonna see if any of these players decides to do that. I also see right next to it, defeat the last knight. Is that an ending 1 boss, or is that something else?
That is ending 2.
Ending 2. Wow. Okay. Okay, we might see a difference in these clears.
Indeed.
We'll see what happens. I believe we only have a few minutes left before we get started right here. Only 2 minutes until both players start to cook up their clears live. Man, the stress that's on these players right now. This is their final match. Their final bingo layout. Who's gonna win this one?
This board is giving me stress, and I'm not even playing it. How do you feel?
Oh my god. So, from my perspective, I feel like getting the ball rolling is the most important. Momentum is crucial here because the first person that has a solid idea for the things that they want to go for can decide and has the clairvoyance for when they want to reset their run to do something else. This again does seem like a board that caters to people that are looking for very specific clears and then going for that very fast reset. And the thing is, every single time you reset, you pressure your opponent to also reset if they have not done that already. So we'll see if that becomes a very big factor in this clear. And let us head onto the match scene to see the countdown. Final 30 seconds before they start. I'm excited.
And I don't even know what we're going to see starting off for this. I mean, last time we saw some pretty obvious tiles that were easy takes, but here I don't even know where to begin. Now, obviously, pull an enemy into a hole, that can be done on floor 1 just because of the prevalence of holes. Defeat the last enemy. Oh no, that can't be done on floor 1. All right, this is gonna get nasty then.
Oh my gosh, I am very nervous. The countdown has been settled. Fersangu versus Wayhazel in this grand finals match. They are selecting their squads now.
Oh man, this is gonna be tense. Okay, so, Viper. In matches we've seen before, if you get an early lead, it is very hard for the other player to come back, right? Do you think that's still going to hold in this kind of format with these very, very difficult challenges?
Oh man, I actually don't think so. Given that they are so challenging and very like long-term investment heavy, it does seem like there could be comeback potential for either players if one is left behind at the very beginning.
Oh yes, and of course, well, I don't know. It just depends on what those tiles they actually take for like the opening 3 from each player. It really is probably going to come down to that. If someone takes Steal from Cannot and Survive and then resets, I mean, technically, that's an easy tile that just got taken out.
All right, looking at Wayhazel's screen right now, they actually opted to start out with a Posey. That's very interesting. I wonder what kind of play they're going for there.
Maybe they're trying to spell something.
Oh yeah, wait, so that is definitely one of the tiles that requires a lot more passive mindfulness for them to go from each recruitment and select the operators just enough to clear a word and announce that to the moderators. Maybe that is a play there.
I really wonder how the moderators are going to do it. Like, I personally don't know what the requirement is, but if I had to take a guess, it would be from, like, left to right, lowest to most DP, on the deployment order bar. So, like, what kind of a word can you spell? What do they got? T, F, and P.
There's no way Wayhazel's getting that done. What about Fersangu?
Fersangu has R, D, P.
There are no vowels out there. That's not looking good.
Hey, I didn't realize this was Wheel of Fortune. I'd like to buy a vowel.
Oh, we shall see. Fersangu, very interesting pick. Decides to save their remaining hope and go for two-star operators. Is that correct?
Oh, would you look at that? Wayhazel is actually using the instant E2 medic and who goes with medics? Specialists? Casters? Casters. No, not casters.
Oh, very interesting.
Snipers! Yes, snipers. Wayhazel is using the instant E2 medics and sniper squad, and thus has obtained an instant E2 calcit, and is now shaking the screen very, very vigorously.
They are definitely nervous here. Fersangu actually going ahead and taking the first tile for this board. Clear a stage with only one ally unit. Very easily done with that penance.
You know... I'm trying to think of words that could possibly be spelled that end with a K. No.
Yeah, I don't think they're going for it. Okay,
Yeah,
calcit,
no.
K. Yeah, this is not gonna look good. What operators even start with a vowel? Oh, man, that requires so much thinking. They probably have a shift.
Hey. Irene, Indigo, Arene.
Oh, okay.
Passenger?
No.
Not Passenger.
I believe the challenge there, actually, I would have imagined for that specific tile, both players could open up an opportunity maybe later on while their squads are being prepared. Because I feel like if you kind of build a squad around that, it can damage you if you're very blindsided.
Personally, I think it might be very funny if these players just went for the spell a word along with, say, something entirely unrelated, such as clear a stage with exactly one operator of each rarity. Okay, well, obviously that's 5 versus 6, so that can't be done. But, like, something similar like that. More importantly, what the heck happened to Wayhazel? Did we just see some, like... Did we just see some, like, giga lag there? Hello?
Bro, Wayhazel's not only nervous IRL, but his computer is dying in the grand finals. This is not good. Oh my god.
Oh, look! Fersangu is robbing Cannots!
Oh my god. You're right. Is this the hard stage that you were talking about?
Well, there are 2 stages that you can get when attempting to rob Cannot. And as you can see, there is Cannot's effect taking effect right now. Cannot sleeps the enemies and also heals them while they are slept. So that will be providing some difficulty in trying to kill the enemies if you do that. But back to what I was saying, there are 2 different stages that Cannot can give to you. One of them is if you are on floors 1, 2, or 3, you get this easier version where you have to deal with some Docilis Holiday enemies, or sorry, no, those are Docilis Holiday. Some Ideal City, those little punchy Durans, and then of course some Brood Mothers. But if you take the combat on floors 4 or 5, then you have to deal with the Crocodiles from the Gavial and the Great Chief event, as well as Red Runners from Chapter 5 and 6.
Oh my god.
Or is it Chapter 6? No, just Chapter 5, I believe.
Well, it looks like he's doing pretty well against there. Penance holding very well, having that cutter to hella drop and deal some extra damage to select enemies. He is doing a great job. That Penance with that insane survivability, holding the fort down in that one choke point.
Yes, also, I must say, if you have a Passenger with skill 3 up or a Fia meta, you can also do this stage very, very easily. Cannot's fight does get hyped up a little bit as somewhat difficult, but if you're taking him on floor 1, it really isn't. And if you have certain operators who can hold a choke point with high AoE, like Passenger and Fia meta, also not very hard. But yes, Fersangu taking it away with robbing Cannot. Now, what will remain to be seen...
Oh no.
What will
Oh my, wait, how are they able to keep so much damage? Look at that, Fersangu.
I think Penance had her reflect skill up, and now the question is, will Fersangu keep this?
Oh, he survived. He got the tile.
But will Fersangu reset? And it does not look like Fersangu is resetting. It looks like Fersangu is keeping the run, and now gets to steal everything out of the shop.
Oh my god, the shop is now completed. I don't think he gets to claim any extra tiles from that, but this does provide him a huge boost in recruited operators, as well as some relics on top of that. We'll see how Wayhazel can handle that pressure and counter back, and maybe grab a few tiles for themselves.
Indeed. Now, I'm not 100% sure what Wayhazel is doing. Maybe they're looking through the alphabet right now.
Yeah, maybe they're...
Look, Conviction!
That's what you were talking about. They're gonna try to pull it off.
Indeed. Now, let's see what Okay, Wayhazel, rerolling cannot stop. Perhaps they're looking for something. Oh, a hand of diffusion. That would be really useful if anyone used passenger. Just kidding.
Wayhazel doing a few more rolls, heading on to floor 2 very soon. A little behind compared to Fersangu, who took some extra time to defeat Cannot, and still a little ahead on floor 2.
Indeed, but Wayhazel is about to go in for the conviction, have 4 operators stunned at least once, and I must say, we've got word from one of our moderators that during the preparation time, Wayhazel went and leveled up conviction.
Wait, no way! The sacrifice taken to the account just for this tournament and the success of their clear.
Well,
that could be very detrimental in the long run for Fersangu, given that Wayhazel went out of the way to claim that one very early.
Yes, again, this is one of the easier tiles, so we are going to end up seeing, like, it is going to come down to the question of, is it better to get those easy tiles out of the way and make it so that you and your opponent in the end are fighting over those harder tiles, or if it's going to be more detrimental than anything? Because as we can see, Wayhazel right now having a little bit of difficulty trying to set up this formation for conviction to come in and get that stun without losing complete control of the run.
Yeah, absolutely right here. Fersangu picking up his 3rd tile right now. Clear a stage without using the skills. Not on floor 1. He takes that very quickly. Wayhazel doing a little leaking right now, but grabs himself a tile. Have 3 operators get frozen by those spiders. At least once in the same stage. So both players taking it.
Stun!
Oh my god, you're right! And at the cost of only 1 leak. That was so good.
Now that's what I call economy.
Wow, and there we go. Wayhazel takes that tile and ties it up 3-3 right now. It is going to be a very close game. We're going to expect to see a lot more back-to-back, 1 tile at a time. This is very challenging.
Hold on a second. Who is that? Oh, that's conviction. Okay. I will say Wayhazel is actually in very strong position to take clear a stage with exactly 1 operator of each rarity in the squad as soon as they pick up a 2-star, and it does look like Wayhazel,
oh my god,
is planning to enter an emergency with 1 HP.
Wow, the foresight. It's incredible right now. They are setting up, even though they were behind only with 1 tile, they're immediately taking 3 for themselves eventually.
Yes, I believe this is what you were saying earlier, Viper, that these players are going to have to keep in mind 3 or 4 tiles at once in order to prepare to try and get as much of the board in their favor as possible. But Wayhazel doing so very, very excellently to great success, and now has completely tied with Fersangu and may even be in position to start taking the lead.
Wow, all right. Well, we'll see what Wayhazel picks out of this. An Fiala pick? No way. Fiala, and that's a vowel, an E. So that does make it easier to pair up with a name of 5 letters.
And would you look at that, there's an emergency now. Wayhazel only has to enter the emergency with 1 HP and not survive it. So, oh no. All right, so Wayhazel decided to fight it out entirely, and hopefully they'll be able to come away with this. But personally, if it were me here, I might have actually entered the emergency and tried to spell something out and then taken the L and reset. But this is a floor 2 emergency. They do have a very strong roster with several E2s, so I do believe that Wayhazel can still do this, but 1 HP gaming will always make me nervous.
Wait, Wayhazel has an A and an E, right? Clearly he can spell something out.
Yes,
right?
But I think Wayhazel avoided doing the spelling on this stage specifically just because why would you decrease your available operators on an emergency? Do remember, this is an emergency stage. So I believe that Wayhazel is perhaps waiting for a later stage to do some funny little spelling. But I do also agree that you probably do want to get your spelling out before you leave floor 3, because if you have to 5-op a stage on floor 4 or 5, it is doable, but holy crap, you'd better be praying.
Oh, I think I completely misunderstood the spell 5-letter word. Wait, what?
No, actually, I think you are right. I think it is possible.
Oh, but they have to. Oh, but they have to be standing next to each other adjacently. They can't just be put anywhere.
I really want to know what the mods mean by adjacent. Like, do you have to deploy them all next to each other, or do they have to be like adjacent to each other on the deploy bar?
Yeah.
Because Oh, look at that! Look at that! Thermax defeating the last enemy with a one star.
Wait, what?
Defeat the last enemy of a stage with a 1-star.
Oh
Thermax
my
is a
god!
1-star.
That foresight playing off so well for Wayhazel. So we're not taking another tile, push up to 5 points.
Yes, I do wonder what the mods mean when they say adjacent, because you seem to have interpreted it as standing next to each other on a stage, and I seem to have interpreted it as spell it in your deployment bar, which means that inherently they are sorted by like deployment costs. So not really sure what's happening there, but let's see.
Yeah, we shall see.
Look.
I'm sure they'll give us clarification very soon.
Wait, Wayhazel is trying P-E. Okay, maybe there'll be something coming out here.
Oh, Wayhazel cooking up something right now. Fersangu with a lot of operators on their screen as well. I wonder if they also thought about that at one point. Not sure about that. Fersangu using a lot of... Wait, he has 2 of the same operators? Do I see that correctly?
Those are reserve operators. You can recruit more than 1 reserve operator. Now, I must say, if the spelling thing, and I know we are a bit hung up on this, but this is just so funny. If the spelling thing is actually needing to place operators side by side, Fersangu's map is actually a lot better for that, because as you can see on Wayhazel's map, there's actually not a row or column where you can have operators 5 abreast of each other.
True. Yeah.
So it looks like if it is physically adjacent, Wayhazel is going to have to wait a bit to try out the spelling bee. But on the other hand, for Fersangu, with this map, Sanguinarch's Revenge, or I think it is Sanguinarch's Revenge, whatever this map is called, and Fersangu having some having difficulty keeping all of the Sanguinarch's minions in check, because with the large amount of defenders, there's not enough DPS going out. Fersangu is leaking. Fersangu may be losing control here.
Oh my god, this is not looking good. The big chunguses are walking in and getting blocked, but he is at max capacity right now.
And Penance, not enough to stop all the big chunguses. If this was Mudrock with the Mudrock spin, this might be a different story, but no, it's Penance. And now with that little truck on the field, the operators are now losing SP.
Oh my god, that Cardigan holding on for dear life with that medic coming in right now. Double medic down. This is looking really bad for Fersangu, who tries to save his run. Clearly behind right now.
And Fersangu just lost Cutter, I believe.
Oh my god, he is holding on. Only 3 enemies remaining and some leaks, but he might actually pull it out.
Meanwhile, I'm not exactly sure when, but Wayhazel also did re-roll a die to prevent being cursed. I'm not sure if we missed that earlier or now, but...
Yeah.
Yes, but for Fersangu, it looks like... Is that 1 HP there? On Fersangu?
That is 1 HP. Only 1 remaining.
Oh, very dangerous. And, oh man, I think Wayhazel is just getting very, very bad map picks, because look at this. This is a very tiny map, and the operators can't spell anything. And it does look like we've gotten some official mod clarification on what spelling is like. So I will read what the mod has said. Spell a 5-letter word with the first letters of names of 5 adjacent operators. This has to be a word in English and cannot be a proper noun like Tampa, for example. It also cannot be an inappropriate word. The operators need to be in a straight line, vertical, horizontal, or diagonal, and the direction doesn't matter.
Wow.
So Wayhazel is not going to be spelling, but Fersangu got a map that looks like it can be spelled on.
Wow, that is a very creative tile, and we will see if Fersangu has a word in mind. A huge 5 lines available right there, or 5 tile line available right there for him. We'll see if he uses that to the benefit. Leading up to the exit box, Penance down first.
Yes. Now remember that the line can also be diagonal, and perhaps Penance is just there to hold the line while the actual operators do some spelling over in the side. So that is also possible that maybe Penance is just entirely unrelated to the spelling formation, but we will see.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what happens out of this. Wayhazel right now, cleaning the stage. Monsters down. Fang holding up the other line as well. We'll see what kind of tiles they are looking for here, but both players deciding to keep their run so far. No resets going into the 3rd floor.
Fersangu relying very, very heavily on Penance to do things here. Not really sure what Fersangu is doing, but it does look like Fersangu may be trying to get a boss to kill at least 5 different operators, which is column 1, row 4. However, This is Surging Zero, so having a boss kill an operator is it's gonna be a little bit of a tall order.
Oh, yeah, you're right. And with only 1 HP left, Fersangu has to be extra careful trying to pull off these challenges.
Yes, as you can see, there are many shadows coming now from the boss. The boss does reproduce, I guess, regenerate shadows on a timed basis. So these shadows are going to be coming in, and Penance and Horn are going to have to clear them out, and not a single one can get through. Here comes the bulk of them now, and as you can see, some of them are getting past Penance, and some of them are going to get past Horn. This is very dangerous for Fersangu.
Oh no, that Texas Altar coming in clutch right now. Can he actually live this? One enemy actually leaked, 2, 3 actually leaking right now. This is disaster.
Yes, and now Fersangu needs to spell something very quickly.
No,
it's too late.
No. Oh, I don't know what happened right there. He did have some operators remaining to try to block, but it just didn't work.
Well, the thing about those little creatures is that they do have somewhat respectable stats, and of course, there was a Spiny on the field, and the Spiny was ruining everyone's day as well. Personally, just a matter of oversight, I believe. Relying too heavily on Penance, trying too hard to get that have a boss kill at least 5 different operators tile. Personally, I think Fersangu could have won there if they focused entirely on beating the boss, but because they got sidetracked by that tile, they did end up losing, and now they're going to have to restart.
Oh, that is disastrous. But just before he fell, I think we missed this a little earlier, he was able to clear the have a at least 20 current hope. So luckily he got something out of that run and out of there. So now he's actually able to restart his run and look for a new path to clear more challenges. And this is actually in a way a blessing in disguise, because Wayhazel is still pretty locked into this run. Yes, some of the later tiles require a lot more investment, but Fersangu providing that pressure of a new run to look for different routes to take.
Yeah, and I will say that, however, that Wayhazel does still have an advantage in certain tiles that can be taken. For example, Wayhazel is definitely going to be the one who is most likely to encounter the events for Cure a Curse, Clear an Emergency with operators in squad less than floor number, because of course, you know, moving up to the higher floors. Spell a 5-letter word, that is definitely in Wayhazel's favor, but it does look like Fersangu is going for pull an enemy into a hole, and that has just been done by Gladia.
Oh, wow. Off the bat, remains competitive. He knows he's fighting against time, against Wayhazel's clear, but he knows that all he has to do is maintain his goal to find a new path and see if he can actually catch up on the tiles.
Oh, would you look at this? I think Wayhazel is going for clear a stage with exactly 1 operator of each rarity.
Oh, wait. So we have a 1-star, we have 2 stars. He's looking at it, he's counting it, he knows. I think you are correct.
Remember, it's not enter, it's clear. So even though Wayhazel has the squad proper, let's see if Wayhazel can actually seal the deal on this.
To have planned to get to this point, only 23 enemies. He only has 2 HP, which is very, very risky right now, but he is going to do this. He believes this is the chance to grab this tile before Fersangu gets a chance to even test this out. Can he do this?
Yes, this is going to be very, very dicey. Troglodyte Tribe. I feel like this is a map that is easy enough that Wayhazel could possibly get away with it, but also, Wayhazel is relying on Chalcedon Monster to do a lot of the heavy lifting here.
Yeah, Wayhazel, Fersangu, both tied at 5 points right now. Not even 30 minutes have passed, both remaining very competitive. A lot of hard challenges still remain.
Trying to see if Hazel can spell anything right now.
Yeah,
oh no,
I don't think he's gonna go for it.
Liskarm has been deployed out of formation, so the answer is now a no.
That is unfortunate. Wayhazel right now, just trying to stay alive, get this 1 clear done before he moves on to the next challenge. Fersangu above, I wonder what he's going to be focusing on now. Still on 4-1.
Well, Fersangu could still pick up defeat a boss enemy with a cursed operator. Unless, of course, Wayhazel does that. Wayhazel hasn't gone to the floor 3 boss yet, so that could also be Wayhazel. Wayhazel is in better position to have 3 cursed operators, but if Fersangu gets a very strong E2, then it is possible that Fersangu could go for clear an emergency with operators in squad less than floor number and just have a very strong E2 solo and emergency on floor 2. Or, I mean, is it possible that you could clear an emergency with 0 operators. I think that's a little bit of a tall order.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but we'll see if that's actually possible. I feel like options are becoming pretty limited for both players.
And there we go, Wayhazel claiming clear a stage with exactly 1 operator of each rarity.
That was good. Not even a single leak, honestly, so he had that in the bag. I think his operators are set. He has a lot of E2s now, too.
And
against the boss.
A quick score check. Surprisingly, we are not seeing any one player running away with it. We have Wayhazel with a score of 6-2, Fersangu with a score of 5. This is look, there's Pith. Oh, now you want to show up? Now you want to show up, Pith? Really? Now? Okay, Pith.
Oh man, if only that was a tile, that would have given an immediate advantage. It's always good to get all of the RNG tiles out of the way as soon as possible, because that is really up in the air for both players throughout any of the matches.
Indeed, and now we have Wayhazel in position for any number of tiles, and let's see. Here are the possible tiles that Wayhazel can get. Defeat a boss enemy with a cursed... Oh wait, no, there are no cursed operators. Interesting. Alright, so Wayhazel cannot do that, but Wayhazel can skip a boss relic, can have a boss kill at least 5 different operators, and can attempt the spelling right now.
Oh, we're gonna see if they're gonna do that. This is very exciting. They have a huge squad right now of about 9, I believe, 9 operators, 9 or 10 operators. Putting that in that Calcit first. He does have that line available to him. And you said this was one of the easier bosses, right? This is the one with the centipede, the spider or something?
The scorpion and the fish bishop. This is an easier boss, and this is a slower map. So I believe if Wayhazel takes this slow and steady, there is plenty of time to do some spelling later on. But let's see if that's going to be on Wayhazel's mind, because I'm going to be honest with you. If you asked me to spell in the middle of Arknights, I would tell you to go bugger off. That's not something I'm thinking about. I'm trying to play the strategy game.
The thing is,
trying to play a strategy game.
The thing is, Wayhazel is probably aware that Fersangu is put quite behind and is not going to be able to compete on that spelling thing. So until Wayhazel reaches a map that he believes he is very confident in and allows him to do that spelling, he has the time to think. He has the time to stall.
This is true, but you also have to remember that the spelling has to take place with both high and low ground operators, so I'm not quite sure what could possibly be spelled.
Man, that's going to be very hard. I do wonder if they're just going to go ahead and forfeit that and worry if that is going to be like a tiebreaker.
Oh, would you look at what Fersangu's doing? Fersangu, I believe, is trying to clear an emergency with operators in squad less than floor number, also known as this is floor 2, and we're watching a Gladia.
Oh my god, what? How is this going to be possible? It does make sense, though, for floor 2 to be that stage.
Well, let's think about it. If Gladia is an E2 and has her module, she has 30% damage reduction and also has... Wait, is Gladia the one that has passive HP regen?
I have no clue.
But
she is not taking any damage right there.
Yes, that is her 30% damage reduction if she does have her module. Gladia, Arknights. I'm pretty sure Gladia was the one that had regen, but I am not sure. So let me double check that for you.
We'll see how Gladia does against the casters.
Yes. When deployed, all Abyssal Hunter operators recover 2.5% max HP each second and receive less damage from sea monster enemies. And of course, that just gets turned to a flat 30% reduction from anything on the face of the planet with her module. Oh, bugger off, Gladia.
Oh my god. The sustain is incredible, taking almost no damage at all. Yes, we have some leaking right now, but basically getting the entire stage done with only 1 operator and 2 leaks. That's incredible.
Bah! Abyssals!
Oh my god. Well, there we go. Just like you mentioned, Gladia, or Fersangu, does take that clear an emergency operator in squads less than floor number. It looks like, actually, on the other side, Wayhazel was able to take quite a few more tiles while we're looking at Fersangu.
Wayhazel skipped a boss relic and also got 50 ingots, or surpassed a total of 50 ingots by taking the ingots from that boss fight. And now, Wayhazel is hopefully going to try to spell.
Maybe he'll try to spell. We'll see. It right now is an 8-6 lead for Wayhazel. And unfortunately for Fersangu, is primed to see some of the later challenges much earlier than him, such as clearing floor 5 and getting at least 20 relics. There's a lot that he can do at this point. Do you know if either player is primed for the last night boss?
I do not think either. Oh, hi Sharp. I don't think either player has the last night boss token yet. If the player was going for the last night, you would see the last night physically appearing on the field, as we've seen in some earlier runs. Although, I must state now, Viper, that there is an interesting thing about the last night boss. Now, do you remember in IS2 that you could get the encounter to set yourself on the path to the bear boss on floor 4? Do you remember that?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I believe that happened. We had to get that before the third floor boss, I think? I'm not sure. But it was like somewhere on floor 1 and 2.
No. If you are doing ending 2, you could have gotten the relic for the bear as late as floor 4.
Oh,
and I'm
what?
pleased to say, in IS3, you can also get the last night's recruitment on floor 4. So it is entirely possible that Wayhazel, if Wayhazel did not dismiss the knight earlier in the run, could still see the knight right now. However, I will say that this is a very rare occurrence, and that because of the sheer amount of events that are competing to be put into encounter nodes on floor 4, I would not expect this to happen, but it is a possibility.
Wow. That is going to be a gamble for Wayhazel. We are seeing some miracles come out, such as those unique 5-star exclusive operators. So maybe it can happen. We'll have to see if Wayhazel's luck is good enough. Luck has been shining in their way for this tournament so far. So we'll see. And you know what? Even though he'll be spamming those encounters, he does have a chance to get some of the ones like the King's Relic, right?
Sorry, I'm currently trying to see if Wayhazel is spelling, but more importantly, it does look like Wayhazel might be trying to go for clear of floor 3 or above stage without deploying on melee tiles. I do not know if Monster was deployed. If Monster was deployed, that does nullify it, but if Monster was not deployed, it does look like Wayhazel is in strong position.
Oh, you are correct. I don't see Calcit deployed at this moment. I assume that Calcit was not used in that case, but we shall see. Rat King goes down, and we'll see if he claims that tile. They'll come very close
and yes,
here.
there we go.
Oh, wow.
So
that was very masterfully done.
So we are now 9-2-6 in favor of Wayhazel.
Oh, this does look like a strong lead is starting to form, especially given that Wayhazel does have the advantage of being ahead right now in the floors. Fersangu, he's going to have to stir up some miracle to bring it back.
You know what? I don't think either of these players are trying to spell. At this point, I can't blame them.
Yeah. If I was Wayhazel at this point with 4 remaining tiles, I would probably be focusing elsewhere, given how difficult that could be.
It's free real estate. Look at how many operators Wayhazel's bringing. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Is that 11? Oh, geez, that's egregious. Like, you don't need all 11 operators to clear a stage. Just go spell something somewhere.
That is true. Maybe he might be saving it for the very end, knowing that Fersangu needs a lot of time to catch up to that potential. He might be aiming for a few other ones to get it done as fast as possible, and then focus on that on a random stage, maybe even a stage that he thinks he will fail.
This is fair. And of course, this is a very mediocre stage in terms of difficulty. The only real threat is that fast swinging sword man, and so I think we're going to just see Wayhazel beat the stage as quickly as possible to try and get onto more important things.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at the challenge for having at least 20 relics, how difficult is it actually? Oh, wait,
Oh, look, Wayhazel has deployed 4 operators of the same class.
Oh my god, he was going for that after all?
I guess so.
Oh my god. The foresight of this man. He's absolutely cracked.
And now Wayhazel only needs 3 more tiles.
Oh my god. 3 tiles counting down. He will be reaching the floor 5 before Fersangu for a chance to get that center tile. Going back to that question earlier, at least 20 relics. How hard is it to actually get 20 relics in one run? Is that very difficult?
Not very. It, of course, is going to depend on how many combats you take, how many emergencies, if you get relics from the flawless victory streak, how many shops you go to, etc. It's not possible, but you are going to have to be very mindful of where and how you pick up those relics.
Oh man. Well, we shall see if that is one that Wayhazel can also go for, given that they're ahead. Let's see what Fersangu's cooking up right here. Still using that Gladia as a main lane holder. What else can he be getting at this point?
Well, Fersangu could go for 3 cursed operators. I mean, it's a very low chance at this point, but yes, that is viable because Wayhazel is a little bit behind on the cursed operator collection challenge. There's defeat a boss enemy with the cursed operator if Fersangu can't get cursed. Again, it is easier to beat the floor 3 boss with the cursed operator than to beat like the floor 5 boss with the cursed operator, obviously, unless you run into a boss on like a regular stage, but who would want to do that? And then of course there's always the spelling and getting a King's Relic. The King's Relic is entirely up to RNG though. I wouldn't count on that, honestly.
Yeah, we'll see if anyone can get lucky enough to pick that one up. I feel like for the have a boss kill 5 different operators, that's probably easier to do on floor 3 than floor 5, right? Because at floor 5, if you have them kill 5 operators, you're basically screwed.
I honestly would disagree. If you can control the boss, I personally would just bring the boss down to its last health, like its last bit of HP, and then have it, you know, go crazy on my operators, just some throwaway operators that I don't need to actually use, and then put down the rest of my kill team. Because let's be real, if we were fighting boss 1, that map is so slow that you could easily get away with having the boss wipe out a set portion of your operators and then go on and finish up the rest of the run. But again, that is just me.
Now that is a great observation. We are getting the 30-minute countdown remaining for this grand finals match before we enter sudden death. Within these 30 minutes, the question is, can Wayhazel clear it out? 3 more tiles to go, or can Fersangu come back from this disadvantage?
I don't know.
He's down 4 tiles. This is very crucial for him.
Yes, Wayhazel is putting up a very good fight and has a very strong squad. But as we have seen, some of these tiles are ones that Wayhazel is no longer capable of taking, just because the most prudent time to take those tiles has passed. And just to redirect our attention, if we look at the top screen, Fersangu is now trying to take on the boss. And I wonder if Fersangu is again going to try and get a boss to kill at least 5 different operators, or if perhaps Fersangu might go for a cursed operator kill. I cannot tell, however, if any of Fersangu's operators are indeed cursed.
Wow. Well, we shall see what's going to happen very soon. For Fersangu right now taking on the floor 3 boss with all of those shadow clones. It does not look like he's trying to attempt to kill his operators using that boss, but instead just trying to stay alive for this run with 3 HP remaining.
Meanwhile, Wayhazel doing something strange. The Rat King is currently wandering in the middle of his formation, and the shield is still up.
Oh.
I wonder if Wayhazel is trying to get a cursed operator killed, or sorry, to try and get. Actually,
oh wait, yeah, you're right.
No, it might be 2 things going at once. If Rat King does count as a boss, Wayhazel could be trying to get the Rat King to have the boss kill 5 different operators, and then possibly with Fang.
Oh my God, you're right.
Rat King? I don't know if it'll work though. Oh look!
Oh, he got it.
Did. Yes, but now will Wayhazel try and get Fang to kill? Oh dear. If this works, I think we need to buy this man a Christmas card. Oh dear.
Oh wait, actually, did Fersangu get that?
Oh yes, it does look like Fersangu got the boss kill, but more importantly, oh my God, look at Fang! Oh, we're gonna be here.
What's going on with Fang right now? What is he doing?
Fang is currently a cursed operator trying to kill a boss.
Oh my God! The very slow grind eventually kills that Rat King.
All right, and there we go. The tile goes to Wayhazel. Not sure if Wayhazel was also trying to go for the have a boss kill 5 operators and Fersangu took it beforehand, but Wayhazel definitely getting the Rat King to fall before Fang's very, very adamant poking.
Yeah, absolutely. It did look like they just happened to be competing for that specific tile at the same exact time, and Fersangu taking it just before mitigating the damage that he would have had to take if Wayhazel had gotten both those tiles at the same time. So that was very good to prevent that.
Indeed. And Fersangu now on a 4-4 stage and not spelling anything. You know what? I can't blame them, but also I was kind of hoping we would see some funny word shenanigans.
Oh, well, we shall see. Wayhazel right now finishing out their run as they head into the 5th floor, doing a couple of die rolls.
Wayhazel only needing 2 more tiles.
Oh, that is... He is putting Fersangu in the worst position right now. Fersangu is still very behind. Wayhazel, do you think Wayhazel is set up to do that center tile? Oh, what's gonna happen here?
What is... Okay, no, that is a paraffin recruitment. This event is unfamiliar to me, so I am currently trying to see what Wayhazel is doing. And it looks like Wayhazel has cured a curse.
Interesting.
But at the sacrifice of their light. I do not believe that Wayhazel is qualified to clear floor 5 under 50 light but not 0 because Wayhazel has now zeroed out.
Wow, and just like that, Wayhazel takes 1 more tile for curing a curse. Is that game point?
It is game point, but we also must remember that Wayhazel surrendered the ability to take that center tile. So now, basically, hey, Wayhazel, you feel like spelling, buddy? You feel like spelling?
Do you think they'll slow down and spell? Do you think they'll just go for the center tile?
Well, this map, Tail Between Legs, is a map that is very, very slow. There are only Sarkaz enemies and the Crying Thief here. So personally, if I were Wayhazel, I would be sitting down and thinking of a word that I can spell with 3 melee operators and 2 high ground operators.
Oh my god. This might be the final moments of this tournament.
L-A...
Is he spelling? That's an L. That's a blue. No, he's not going to. He's not going to do it. That is not spelling. We got a P and a B.
No, there's not 5. There's not 5 tiles that Wayhazel can go on. The only 5 tiles that Wayhazel could use are the ones that Blue Poison is like the row that Blue Poison is standing on. Those 5 tiles in a row going from left to right.
Oh my god. This.
Actually, I don't think Wayhazel has enough ground operators to spell with, now that I think about it.
That should be fine. There should be a lot of stages on this floor for him to get the chance on top of that, right? And then some of these, like, he's also a little close to having at least 20 relics, doesn't he?
I'm not sure. I wasn't checking, and if I'm being honest, the Wayhazel nameplate is a little bit in the way, so I couldn't really check. But I wouldn't be surprised if Wayhazel is near 20, and this map should put him up 1 more because he's killed the Crying Thief. And no way, is there a bonus? Oh no, the Crying Thief is still alive. I was like, please don't tell me that the Crying Thief stage somehow lets you have another bonus enemy, but no. It does look like Wayhazel will be killing the Crying Thief right here. There we go, there's the reveal. And there's the Chalter kill, very clean.
Just like that, Wayhazel moves on. We'll see what he has available on his floor remaining.
Yes, how many relics will that be?
It's gonna be a lot of relics. Oh, I see a mound full right there.
And can you see past the Wayhazel nameplate?
Oh, it says 14, I believe. Only 14 relics.
Yeah. Oh no, the reset! Wayhazel, you could have just spelled something, my man.
No!
Okay, alright, you heard it here first, guys. You heard it here first. Arknights EN players would rather throw a run than spell.
Oh no, he's trolling.
You heard it here first. Arknights players would rather...
No, he got a King's Relic.
Oh, he did? No way.
Wait. What?
I didn't even see that.
Oh my god, and just like that, before we even realized the match is just over.
And it is a completely dominant performance by Wayhazel.
Oh my god. Here we thought we would go into a sudden death over these incredibly challenging tiles, but hey, Wayhazel pulling out the victory card. This is a absolute victory for him. What was that? 13 to 6?
7. I believe.
7. Yeah. Wow.
13 to 7.
Wayhazel, dude. Zai, after that tremendous performance from Fersangu, would you have expected this outcome in the finals?
Personally, I don't want to speak strongly one way or the other just because of the very RNG nature of this event, but I mean, that was just a very epic performance. I think Fersangu, the RNG was not on his side this time, and now, wow, 13 tiles, completely unstoppable. A very, very strong performance from Wayhazel.
Oh my god. That was incredible. Wayhazel, congratulations! You have been crowned as the winner of the Lungmen Dragons Bingo Lockout playoffs. What a great performance. And of course, Fersangu, you had a great run all the way through to the grand finals. Congratulations to you walking away as a second place. That was incredible. Wow.
Man, well, interestingly enough, we actually didn't get to see a boss fight in the finals, which I find personally very interesting, but you know what? It is what it is.
Yeah, we were talking about that. You were saying, like, for example, getting a King's Relic is very RNG dependent, and we saw that RNG come out.
Indeed, and might I add that both of these players actually ran into the event that guarantees you a IS exclusive 5-star operator, so like,
Yeah.
hey, where were you last
True,
run?
yeah, what happened to that? Oh my god. Wow. And guess what? Hey, everyone, we do have a special treat. We do have a post-match interview prepared with the winner himself.
Let's go.
Wayhazel. All right, let me get that set up in the back end. But what a game. What a game, guys. Let us actually first look at the bracket to view it in its completed state before we invite on Wayhazel for his interview.
All right, let's take a look at this.
All right, switching the scene. Here we go.
All right, here it is, the completed bracket.
Wow, look at that. Top 32 all the way to the final winner. This is incredible. For all of this to happen in 2 days, for all the creative minds of Arknights to come together for a win for Wayhazel. Who would have expected that? Wow. Congratulations.
And I'm curious, my friend, do you know what seed Wayhazel came in at? Because I didn't see it on the bracket.
Let me see if we can get that out of Zafang in the back end real quick. But it would be very interesting to see what seed, because that might tell a big story in terms of how well the seeding was. If this was a player that was highly seeded, that, you know, that skill could have carried over from the pre-qualifying phase.
And it does look like Wayhazel was in fact the 13th seed, so firmly in the middle of the pack.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yes, number 13, lucky number 13, in fact.
Oh my god. All right, well, we do have the exit interview. Wait, the exit, not the exit interview. The post-match winners interview ready for you guys. So let's see. Whenever you're good, we can invite him into the room.
All right.
Honestly, that was a very close game, and thank you guys so much for hosting this. And that's just first of all. But about what you said before on when you said the 13th place, or like if the pre-qualifiers reflects on the actual skill. Just personally speaking, I don't think it does, because it's a lot dependent on luck. You just have to avoid as many fights as possible, and that's just pretty much the way to get the lowest time. So. And I got my time on the second day, and it was like, okay, I'm just done. So I just submitted, and I was just done. And
wow.
Honestly, yeah. Do you want to say something, Viper?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Again, congratulations on winning this all. We did want to ask you quickly about the pre-qualifying phase and kind of your thoughts going to that. When you saw this tournament, did you have a strategy in place, and how much time did you spend on your way to qualify for the top 32?
For the qualifiers. All right, so what happened was that on the first time I saw the challenge, I immediately went onto this PRTS map website, and it's like a Chinese website, and I knew all the stages because I played on CN already. So I just checked the Chinese names, and I checked the time for each of the stages, and I just wanted to make sure like whether some stages were longer, shorter, or what. And that was pretty much my strategy. It was to avoid as many fights as possible, but when I am fighting, try and fight the ones that have the lowest time requirements.
Interesting. So you basically reiterated on that. Do you see other people come up with different strategies that required you to kind of reiterate on your personal strategy yourself?
Let me see. Well, so I saw someone going with a dice squad, and I was like, why are you going with a dice squad? And it turned out when you roll a 7 or 8, there's a very high chance you get like the refresh at the shop, or like when you roll a 7 or 8 in a shop, you get a nice refresh. And when you have that refresh, it's all very high quality artifacts, and you just want one artifact, and that's the end of time. So you could skip a stage with the end of times, and you could get a better time.
That's very interesting. I don't think that ever came up in any players that I was discussing this with. So very, very prescient, and of course, excellently done. I'm actually surprised that you said that you got your time on day 2, because I know some players who are grinding all the way up till the final few hours, in fact, trying to get their qualifier in. So very well done.
Yeah. So on day 2, I remember it was Disa and I were doing it together, and honestly, it was very fun. The qualifiers. It was a lot of luck, but it was still pretty fun. And I would say that honestly, Disa has been and Lurky, they have those two. They were in the tournament too, and they have been my closest, like I guess, pre-qualifying buddies in terms of like just kind of strategizing together and having fun. And
Wow, that's
yep.
surprising to hear that you guys were not just rivals. You guys were helping each other together throughout this process, and the fact that all three of you guys qualified pretty high in this not qualified, but rather got pretty far in this tournament really shows that the cooperation probably helped a ton in that in the preparation phase of this tournament.
Oh, and also I just kind of off topic here, but I think I think one of my semi-final matches were broadcasted, right? I missed some very obvious things like the 10 squad, I think, and it was also the hand in Texas and hand or thermo X, and man, I feel so dumb for looking at it afterwards. I feel like this is a tournament that's not just based on skill alone. It's also based on like kind of planning beforehand, and also it's so much pressure. Like you have so much pressure going in when you're playing against these guys, because there are like these huge rewards on stake. And yeah, and I think that pressure management is what really is going to get you to win this tournament. And to be honest, I feel like I didn't have that pressure management. It was just that I think it was my opponent, and he kind of blundered and failed on the boss stage on this. Yeah, he just failed the boss stage on what do you call that, floor 3, and that was the only reason why the score wasn't that close. I feel like if he would have gone that floor 3 boss, everything would have been different.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's good to hear. Oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I did want to ask. In the first 10 minutes leading up to that tournament, so before you start your round, the goal of that was to provide the players the ability to craft their own strategies and their own route and how they want to play the board. What was your strategy going into this final board, seeing how much more complex it was compared to the previous boards?
Well, it was so I looked at all the little pieces, and I was like, I just looked at it, and a lot of them required low health and low light, and I just knew that I had to start leaking enemies at the beginning, and I had to get to a low light, and that was really the only way that I was going to get more tiles. And once I knew that, I started planning my strategy around losing HP and losing light so I could get that done. And if it's okay, I have a little planning document, or not document, it was just a little small planning thing that I made. And is it okay if I screen share that, or is that not gonna carry through?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a scene prepared for that. Unless you can actually send it to Zafang and he can put it through into the slides.
Okay.
Yeah, Zafang, if you can coordinate with that in the back end, that would be pretty cool to see.
So my initial planning actually went very wrong, in that I didn't select the operators I was supposed to start with, and I got really nervous. So let me just send that in the to Zafang real quick. But honestly, the planning was not much at all. I feel like the main thing was getting used to what kind of slides were on, or like not slides, sorry, what kind of like tiles were on there, and just knowing kind of what to do as soon as you see those tiles and seeing this, like planning a strategy. But actual planning to connect the dots, that's really hard. It's so random.
So, how much of this would you say was like stuff that you figured out like beforehand, or while you were working through stages, while things were loading, or in between enemy waves, and how much of it was just like completely on the fly?
It's all on the fly. Sorry, I'm just like.
Oh no.
I had that 10 minutes and I was just thinking, and honestly, I had a basic strategy going in, but that strategy wasn't gonna work like completely every time. it's still luck, so you had to do on the fly. And I think I paused at a few moments, and I was like, what can I spell? Like, there was a tile that was like spell a word, a 5-letter word, and I just like after doing that for 30 seconds, I just thought this is just not worth my time, and I just stopped doing that. And honestly, I feel like that was pretty important too.
Yeah, I think we saw you pause a few times, and we were like, is he going for the spelling? But honestly, given that you had mostly high ground units and very few low ground units, it does make sense, and you did luck into that King's Relic, so that just really worked out for you, and it goes to show that, yeah, any amount of preparation really just pales in contrast to what RNG will give you. But speaking about preparation, how did you prepare for this tournament, if at all? I know you mentioned training with Lurky and Disa for the qualifiers, but did you, like, I don't know, get any special drinks? Go through a meditation ritual? Like, how did you set up for the tournament?
Oh, okay. So I did nothing.
What? Oh
Okay,
my god, this guy
just
came in.
saying. I'm not gonna lie. I actually just did nothing. So what happened was yesterday I was actually going to my friend. Going to my friend's house, and we drove to like a nearby like a Japanese festival, and I was playing my tournaments there, and so I had no planning whatsoever, and it was in a huge crowd, and I was just doing it. And then later my Wi-Fi disconnected 3 times in my second match, I think. So that was pretty fun, and I still won that one, but pretty much no planning at all. And today, the entire day, I was playing 7 Days to Die with my friends, and yeah, and pretty much no planning at all.
Wow, this guy really swooped in and won the competition with no preparation. We kind of expect an answer like, oh, I grinded for the past 10 hours or something, but this man... let's take a quick look at your planning, which you mentioned earlier. We have it on the screen now.
Yeah, it's not much. Sorry.
Okay, it's like a little flow chart out here.
Yeah, just a little.
Steal from Kenon. try to get frozen. What do you mean try?
Well, I mean, there's only one stage you get frozen at, the early one, and that's like Leviathans, whatever, where they shoot ice beams at you. And there's also like a little ice altar, and that was only one. It was so sad.
I was actually anticipating that someone would try and reset until they got the freeze curse and then try and get 3 curses, but no, clearly you just went for the better option. And Viper and I observed also that you got that at the same time as stunning yourself with conviction, but only managed to get 1 leak.
Yeah,
so, like, that was just some very economical playing right there. Big kudos.
Well, the conviction strat was really funny. So I had one of my friends, his name is Blasi, and right before the match even started, he just DM'd me. He was like, conviction, and I was like, oh, conviction. And so I decided to center my strat around conviction at that time. It was really cool.
Oh man, well, that was very cool. You obviously pulled off an amazing group of strategies, and you finally won at the very end. Do you have any final words before we call it?
Calcit is hot, and Highmore is hot too. I don't know, man. I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much, Viper, and Zarathan. Or I'm sorry if I like butchered that, but
No, half the fun is listening to people try and say my name. That's why I named myself this. Nah, it's all good. Congratulations again.
yeah, thank you so much. It was really fun and pretty nerve-wracking. I had a hard time sleeping at night. I was like, oh my god, there's a tournament tomorrow, and
Man, you must be tired. Thank you one last time, and congratulations. You'll be getting the best prize from Arknights and themselves. Imagine that, you winning an official tournament sponsored by them. That's incredible. So congratulations. Hope you get a good night's rest, and thank you for competing in our tournament.
Oh, also, sorry, just one last thing.
Go ahead.
Loki has just asked me to ask for pause deploy back on stream. I apologize if this is causing any problems, but I think we need pause deploy back.
Don't
know
worry,
what?
I'll pass for that too.
Oh no, it's a fake.
Yo, it's a fake cameo. Let's go.
Oh my god. Well, we'll see if they can get that done for you.
It's not just for me, it's for everybody else.
For everyone, yes. But yes, thank you so much one final time, Wayhazel. We hope you have a great rest of your night.
You too, man. Thank you so much.
Good night. Congrats again. And can't we get a clap in the chat for this man?
All right. Well, Zai, this has been a tournament. I felt like we saw a lot of amazing things happen throughout these last 2 days and of course the last week. But one thing we know for sure is that there has been an amazing number of things happening behind the scenes as well. So we wanted to give a quick special shout out to all of the amazing people that took part in this tournament and in this experiment. First, special thanks to our play testers. You can see them on the screen right now. These guys took their time out of the way to craft these special bingo boards with our organizers. For every single board, we needed to have a lot of play testers to ensure that there would be a competitive state of the game for Arknights. So big special thanks to all of these people.
Yes, and I will say that in the background, they have been playtesting almost every day, sometimes multiple times a day, training both, or like testing both the boards and, of course, training the mods so that we could have this run as smoothly as possible. So big kudos to those playtesters who are willing to devote so much of their time to getting everything in order.
Yeah, absolutely. And on top of that, next, special thanks to our graphics team as well, Alex, Zach, and Dragonverse. Thank you so much for the work. Without the graphics themselves, I don't know what could have been done. This is what makes a tournament run professionally. The people that are doing the hard work in the back and using their skills and their talents for a community like this, completely non-profit. So amazing work by them as well.
And then, of course, thank you to our show match players, Eha and Goody5. Thank you for participating. And, of course, showing us what everything was worth, or everything, like, how everything was supposed to go. But more importantly, proving that Goody5 should actually be fired and that horses are better than birds.
Oh, no, it's okay. He'll come back. He's angry, but he'll come back in the future.
No, we're taking Goody5 out back. Hey,
wait.
if anyone's interested in joining Lungmen Dragons, we're going to have an opening soon. Don't ask. Apply with it.
We can skip this one, right? I forgot.
I
think I was supposed to bring on Zafang before this, but we'll bring it on after the credits. But yes, wow, thank you, Zai, for hosting this with me.
Thank you, Viper, for hosting this.
And of course, what is that?
A fake 21.
Anyways, of course, to the sponsor themselves, Arknights EN, this could not have been done without you guys. A tournament cannot be as hype as this without amazing rewards, amazing merch, and of course having Arknights EN come in and support our wonderful community. Thank you so much for all of this generosity.
Yes, thank you again to Arknights EN for the sponsorship, as well as being willing to invest in the community. Hopefully we'll see some more of this, or at least some more community involvement. But hey, a big thank you again for that sponsorship.
Yeah, absolutely. And lastly, we cannot forget Zafang.
I made a mistake. I may be the host. I may be the all-powerful person behind here, but I may have messed up and not included the mods in the special thanks. So real quick, let's go through the mods. They have worked extremely hard behind the scenes for this. In fact, some of them I would say have taken on equal workload to me in making this happen. So we have the leader, Mr. Kuma, setting everything up with the mods, playtesting, creating the boards, and managing the whole tournament side, really. So I really have to give a huge shout out to Kuma making that video. We have Battle Hacker, Storm, Aqua, Danbo, Darian, Ender Leon, and Cobra, Reiru, Crave, Mess, Nexi, PPLTN, Stream POV. Who's that guy? We got Assistant X and Undusk, and last but not least, Zuikaku. So yeah, thank you very much to all the mods. And yes, I'm here now. Awesome.
Yeah, we wanted to also say thank you to Zafang, the leader of the Lungmen Dragons, the #1 host in this case. Thank you so much for hosting this for us. This was an amazing experiment for the entire community.
Man.
Thank you, Afang21.
Afang.
I'm not letting you live that down.
Oh god. Yeah, so some closing thoughts. I am very happy that we got approached by Arknights, and yes, they did approach us. We weren't the ones that went to them to do this tournament, which was a huge surprise to me. But that really goes to show that they've been taking a look at what we have done as a community. You know, our niche nights tournaments, Viper's own PvP tournaments, Cena's Hidden Law challenges. There's so many tournaments that the community has done by ourselves, and it's really nice to see that Arknights is taking the time to help us with this process and give us a little something for all our work. Yeah, it's really been an honor to host this. It's been extremely stressful, but the team has really been absolutely amazing. I really could not have done it without everyone. Like all the mods I mentioned earlier, and especially these two on the screen right now. They're too shy to say it, but come on, their hosting was impeccable, and I think
Hey,
everyone in the chat can agree.
Cut to another
No,
screen.
I think we can get out of here.
No, wait,
Yeah. Take it off.
Oh my god.
Especially Viper, running the stream for me, setting everything up and doing all these transitions. It's really such a huge help, and I mean, not to discredit myself too. I have been working extremely hard, and I've been working in the back end, but this truly is a group project, and one that I think turned out fantastically. So we've heard a bunch of your issues with it too, especially with the qualifiers, and we've created a feedback form. So if you guys could also fill this out for us, that would be appreciated. And I think that's about it from me.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Zafang, and of course, thank you. One final thank you to all the viewers out there. Without you guys supporting us as content creators, as a community, this would not be possible. So thank you. Any final words, Zai?
Tweet.
Well, I guess with that, Zafang, thank you one last time. Arknights Jian, thank you one last time. And of course to the viewers, we hope you guys have a great day. We'll see y'all next time.
Yep, thank you for coming. We hope you were entertained, and we'll see you some other time. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night,
Goodbye.
everyone. Thank you.
All right,
for
let's go beat up
joining
Zafang.
us. No.